Bro, I hope this is the right thing, you know. I hope this is the right thing.
Where's this on you?
This is the Albanian national anthem, I believe.
I don't think it is, man.
Hey, I'm trusting YouTube, man. Look, I can see the flag.
It's an Albanian flag, it must be right.
It must be right. I mean, I don't speak Albanian, so I can't check.
If you've got any Albanian listeners...
Hey, please tell me if I've just offended you.
Don't be offended if you're wrong.
Sam O'Reilly with a Fight Talk podcast. Myself and Richie Gray in the building. We're joined by the Knockout King, who's on everyone's lips. Does it feel like that? Does it feel like your name, Denzel Bentley, is now being thrown around the way you believe it should be?
I feel like it has. Every second I've got to look at my phone because someone's tweeting my name and stuff. So
it's good, isn't it? That's what you want, isn't it?
It's a good. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah.
You're getting used to it.
Yeah, getting used to it. Still,
right. We're recording back on the snowball that gave up again. I've tested it like 4 times, but if it gives up, we've got the dictaphone to take over. So we just got you keep an eye. That's your job. Your job is to keep an eye on that.
Well, how many times have we done podcasts where we've got 10 minutes in and then looked back and we're like, Sam, it's not recording.
I know. That's why it's your job, bro. But I trust you, Richie. Last week you watched boxing, so you're improving for starters. You're getting better.
I don't know if you've listened to many of these or if any. Yeah. What tends to happen is I was first brought on here as a boxer like yourself. Oh, okay, so then I took that for granted and then I stopped boxing, didn't watch boxing, so I knew nothing about boxing.
Now he's media. Your job is to watch boxing.
I'm getting trolled by people for not doing a boxing podcast and not even watching it.
Yeah, that's a bit mad.
Yeah.
That's definitely mad.
I feel like my opinion's worth more than it really is. Yeah. Well, I used to box, so...
We spoke about it just before we started recording. You have been big on Denzel for a little while. I ain't gonna lie, Linus Shadofi is a friend of mine and I've been backing Linus for a long time, and you said, listen, stop sleeping on this guy. So I said, I'll be honest, I don't know him. This is what, 9 months ago maybe?
Maybe 9 months, a year ago.
And I was like, I don't know him, brother, that's the truth. And you said, trust me. And it's because... Tell the story why you believe that he was...
When was your debut?
17th October. No, 14th October 2017.
17. So
yeah, it's a couple of years ago.
18 months, isn't it?
That was when you boxed Casey Blair, right?
Yeah.
So when I first heard of you, that was probably my 4th fight. And I boxed Casey Blair. And I'd had a couple of stuff. I think I had 2 stoppages before. I had 3 and 2 stoppages, something like that going into that. And I thought I was going to knock Casey Blair. I had 6 good rounds of him. And that was like 4th fight, 6 round and all that. And I thought, I did a good job of that. 1 week later, some cunt who I've never heard of knocks Casey Blair out in round 1 on his debut, and I was like, who's this cunt? And who's this kid who just knocked out Casey Blair? And he was like, oh, I don't know, he's friends with this guy, blah blah blah. A couple of fighters, he's still knocking a few people. I was like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. Ignore that. I'm interested.
The disrespect to come in and knock him out on his debut.
And that's, do you know what? It weren't even then. It was like a little while later, and you just kept knocking people out. And I thought, fucking hell. How did I swerve that one? And then I brought it up to you guys because Craig Scott went to me, Linus has done this, Linus has done that, and I love Linus.
Yeah, Linus is a good friend of ours, and I'm big on Linus.
And I was told Craig about you. And Craig went, yeah, but is he just knocking out bums? I went, well, listen, he's boxing journeyman, obviously, but he's knocking them out in round 1. Yeah, but has he boxed anyone like
Bailey Demetz?
Like Bailey Demetz, like, you know,
Linus knocked
him out in like round 3 or 4. I went, yeah, he boxed him as well. Knocked him out in round 1.
Is that right?
Craig's jaw at the front was like, oh wow.
You know Craig, who you did a good interview with Boxing Social. So we brought him into the country, to be fair. We looked after him. We helped the boy flourish. He was on here for a long time, good friend, and he fucked off the Boxing Social for the money.
Shook him up.
He went home. Yeah, he's back home up there. But no, it was a good interview. Craig's a good dude. But yeah, we slept. I wouldn't say we slept on you because you're still early. Like, let's not get it wrong. You're not fucking anywhere near where you're gonna be. But we hear names in the small hall scene.
The only thing that other guys have got over you right now, like Linus and maybe Tay and boys like that, they're box contenders.
Yeah.
You haven't boxed 50-50s yet, have you?
I give you that. No. Yeah, that's true.
And mate, listen, that's not to say that when you box 50-50s, you might knock them out in fucking before first round. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? But at the minute, them boys are just ahead of you just because they've had more tests.
Yeah.
Maybe like what's Tay's had 11 fights, 10 wins.
Tay's 11 and 1, isn't he? I think 10 and 1, 11 and 1.
Forgetting the loss, he has boxed a couple of contenders, 2-3 contenders.
Cordona, Gemman,
I like to put
Bailey Demetz.
Demetz counts. I mean, I suppose
Demetz, you've all fought Demetz. Yeah. Demetz is a tough dude, man.
He's a tough. To be honest with you, he actually beat me in amateurs. That's why I wanted that fight.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't see him getting in the first round knockout. It's not like when you see him. I watched him give Tay trouble. The first 2 rounds against Linus, I gave him to him. He's a tough dude, and for you to spark him out in the first is a bit of a libby.
Tough guy.
It's a bit harsh. You know what I mean? I didn't see that coming, bro.
Like, what got me on it? Yeah, he beat me in amateurs, isn't it? Like my 3rd fight when I started boxing, he beat me in amateurs. under 10 novices. Not making no excuses, but I'd never made weight before. I had to make championship weight. I started boxing and I was like 14 stone, 90 kilos, pardon?
What weight was that?
75 in the amateurs. Never had to make it. I started boxing, I was like 90 kilos when I started boxing. So now I've got to make 75, my third fight. Cool. Made that. I was already, he should have knocked me out. Because I couldn't feel nothing in my punches. Yeah. I was already hot. Everything was thinking. First time I boxed by head guards because they just changed the rules as I turned. So I boxed my first 2 fights with head guard, right head guard. Cool. He beat me. I wanted that rematch ever since. I thought, I know when I'm fresh, I could beat this guy just from that fight. I think he beat me in a split as well. So when I saw him the next time, I was like, I thought, what's his name? Rod Douglas. Was his name Rod Doug? He boxed.
His dad a coach as well.
Yeah, his dad used to box.
Yeah. His dad's a coach.
That's the coach now. Yeah. If he boxed that Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah.
Boxed him, beat him, and I see Ashley. And I'm like, oh, I've been looking for you. You know, like, we need to get it on again. He goes, oh, I've turned pro now. I've gone, cool man, whatever. Well, obviously, a couple of years later now, I'm down at the Peacock. I've seen him coming there for a couple of times. I've got a fight now. They're trying to step up, and he was meant to fight my my stablemate Sean Phillips, and then Sean ended up getting injured, hurting his hand, and then my opponent ended up pulling out, and I thought, listen, we both ain't got an opponent, put me in with him. Yeah. Like, oh, you sure? Put me in with him. What
fight was this, your what?
My third fight.
Third fight.
I'm like, put me in with him. He's a tough, I'm like, I know he's tough. I fought him before, put me in with him. I need that one back. Cool, anyway, long story short, put me in with him. Getting ready for it now. Obviously, I think he started training at Miguel's, because obviously he's fighting me now. Went in there. When I went in there, you know, like Mo Pryor, the promoter and stuff, he's like, this is a tough fight. I'm surprised you're taking this so soon. I'm like, yeah, it's alright. He's like, yeah, he's been telling me that he beat you before. So he's up for it. I'm like, oh, okay. He's
telling me.
I'm like, he's holding on to that one. Like, yeah, he's on it. He's holding on to it. Cool.
I'm sure the other day he told me it's 1-1.
But if he wants to get that back, he's more than welcome. I need opponents. So yeah, when we got in there, I didn't expect to knock him out in the first round, but that's kind of like when I got in there, you just kind of went for it, like, and ended up stopping him. When I put him in the first time, I was like, yeah, I'm going for it.
What did you catch him with?
I think the first time I caught him with a left hook. The first knockdown was like a barrage of shots, so I just kept coming at him and he went over. The second knockdown was a right uppercut. He threw a jab, I slipped it, come with uppercut, he went down. And then the last one, I hit him with an overhand right over the top, and he was kind of stunned, and I just hit him to the body. And went over,
I heard an interview a little while ago of you saying, I can't remember the interview now, you weren't much of a puncher in the amateurs, so it surprised you that you're doing it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, what was that interview? Was it Isaac? It wasn't when Isaac grabbed the camera, was it on IFL, and Terry Chapman-Dharma was in there? Was it? Did you see that interview? Fucking Terry was battered, man. Terry was fucking slaughtered. He starts shouting. I love Terry.
He's done that the live podcast.
Terry gets pissed up. I love Terry, man. He's a fucking wild.
It was funny when we were there. It was funny when it came out. When I watched it back, I was laughing. But I don't think it was that one. I think it might have been one before that. I can't remember. But yeah, I had 17 fights as amateur. I knocked out one person and stopped 2. So I didn't actually think going into a professional that I'd be a puncher. Like, even the Casey Blair one, I thought, oh, alright, cool, I'll take that. Yeah. Next one, we'll go again. Next one, knocked him out. I thought, what's going on? I just said the gloves are doing the damage. Like, you know, you get the little small 10-ounce gloves, like, yeah, and then obviously
I spoke to someone about this the other day, and I think because you're not used to knocking people out, you're not trying to knock everyone out. Most guys go in there, even I did it. I'd go out there, as soon as I land a shot, I'd think, right, that's it, I'm just going to pile it on now. Because you're not used to knocking anyone out, you're not even trying. Like, you're like, I'm just going to outbox him, never get carried away, and it just happens.
I think that's what it is. And even that's why I'm trying to not get carried away with all the power, because you don't get carried away. Like, I'll knock this guy out.
And it won't necessarily translate to the higher levels. Like, in all honesty, you could go so English, British, and
of course,
the guys are good. The weird thing is,
you find that in the amateurs when you first start, you can bash the fuck out of boys for a while. But all of a sudden, you'll reach a level where power doesn't really account for a lot, strength doesn't account for a lot. Because you can get as hard as you want. You reach a level where they all got good chins.
But that's what I was going to say. You know, I find it weird. You hear the term used a lot. Will his power go up the levels of him? So like, can he bang at fucking English, British, Commonwealth, etc.
At any level.
But the same thing is, you can't. No matter how good you are, your chin is still your chin, no?
But a superb boxer who's got an awful chin probably won't go as far as someone who's got an excellent chin and bad boxing ability. Here's a good example. Carl Froch, hand down, looks lazy, throws lazy jabs, lazy right hand, can't really move, leads with his face.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking iron chin and he won world titles.
Yeah.
Chin of steel.
Right, listen, it's just a chin can take you a lot further than you think.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Just a little bit of power with it. If you,
Mate, that Jermaine Taylor fight where he got his head punched in for however many rounds and then 20 seconds left, he fucking caught Jermaine Taylor and chased him down and won the fight.
The only thing he can remember is 80,000 pounds. That's just repeats around in his head.
No, it's true. I get it. It's just, you hear it mentioned and you wonder
why. You get
why.
that? When you go through the amateurs, obviously, and championships, stuff that works first still works, but what would finish someone early or really hurt someone, as you go up in levels, you find that actually don't work anymore.
Yeah, 100%. In amateurs, 100%. But I went amateur for mad long, so the few top boys I fought, I'm thinking, that
what did you do? Did you just do the novices?
I done the novices, I done the novices. I done the under 10s to under 20s.
What years?
I think I done the under 10 to 2015 and under 20 to 2016.
So why did you turn pro after that? Like, it's quite early. Like, it's not. And we hear a lot like Anthony Yard only had 12 amateurs or whatever.
Yeah.
But like you said, you hadn't sort of progressed as far in the amateurs. You know, why did you turn pro when you did?
It was getting boring. Yeah. Like, you're just in the amateurs, you're doing the same thing. I wanted to go in the ABAs, and my trainer was trying to hold me up for another year. Like, oh no, I'll do it next year. Do it under 20s again. I got to the I think I got to the national quarters or semis in the under 20s. But I wanted to go in the ABAs. Like, oh, let me test myself. I'm the type of guy I get up for a challenge, innit?
What was your record in amateurs?
17. I won 14 out of 17. So. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, so what happened? What was we talking about again? Yeah. So I wanted to go in the ABAs, and then he was like, "Oh, wait till next year." And I'm like, "Next year? That's a long time. I don't really want to do the under 20s again. I don't feel like I want to do it. Like, nah, I don't know what I'm doing." So
you like to be pushing yourself.
Yeah, I want to push myself. I want to move up another level. I was like, "Oh no, wait till next year." So we were going out again. Then we done a dinner show.
Who did you box for?
Fisher.
Okay.
Fisher ABC, yeah. So we done a dinner show. I boxed in that. Thought I won. I lost, and I kind of thought, oh, this is getting dead, man. Like working, boxing, not doing that, and I want to feel like I'm progressing somewhere like that. And obviously, I'd been at Peacock Gym for about a year and a half before I turned pro. So I was training there, sparring and everything. And everyone in the gym's like, "Oh, turn pro, you're ready, man, you're ready." I'm like, no. Because obviously I was working with one of my amateur coaches, Ray Ball, he's my amateur coach, and he used to train Alan Higgins at Peacock, so I was working with him. I'm like, no, when Ray says I'm ready. So I ain't rushing that. So I was there for a while, sparring guys like Alan, Ahmet, Larry Ekanda used to come down. What's that?
Big middleweight, Alan.
Yeah. Super.
He had to move up.
He won the Southern area, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
I sparred him, right?
I think he lost to Spider.
His jab is better than his backhand.
He's got the best jab.
It's like a scaffold. It's like you've got a 20-metre scaffold with a couple of geezers on the end of it, just ramming it in your face. Boom! And his backhand itch, and you think, I'd rather get hit with a backhand. It's the jab that knocks your head off.
His jab was. I don't know how we managed to get his jab that good, but his jab was.
He's not boxing anymore, is he?
No, he's not boxing anymore.
Because I remember he fought Spider Richards, close fight, and then he was meant to fight Leon McKenzie.
Yeah.
And
that would have been a banger.
But mate, best thing ever happened because that Cello Render stepped in at a week's notice.
Yeah.
And it was the best fight I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I still like that fight. I'll talk about that to a fucking day. I die, mate. Best fight I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the atmosphere. You know when everything comes together.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't have been as good as it was. But it just was, man. It was fucking unreal.
I think Alan would have. Like, no disrespect to Leon, but I think Alan would have battered him.
Yeah.
Alan would have battered him because he fought
better boxer.
Yeah,
a bit of a better boxer.
Yeah. He fought Chilarenda, stopped him for the southern area, and Leon McKenzie fight. I don't think he was up for it.
Did you spar Leon?
No, I've never sparred him. I've never met him.
Leon's a good bloke, man.
He's good. He's strong.
A lot of time for Leon. Nice man.
Yeah,
nice man.
He's physically strong. Yeah, he's physically strong. He's a lot older as well. When he was in the game, he was quite older.
Yeah, well, obviously he had his whole football career,
and that's why I feel like Alan would have beat him just because of
youth.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And Alan's more active. He's been boxing for longer. He knows the fundamentals more and stuff. Where Leon McKenzie's coming to the game after being professional. I know his dad was a boxer and stuff. But it's not quite the same thing, is it?
Yeah. It would have been a good fight to find out, man.
Yeah, it would have been a good
Hopefully
fight.
you can, because I know he said he wasn't in the right mind frame, I think, as well.
Yeah, I think after that fight it kind of messed him up. When going into that fight, he got injured, so they had to push it back.
Yeah.
He got headbutt in the
nose, wasn't it? Yeah.
Headbutt in the nose, broke his nose.
That,
So he had to push it back, and I think he just through that he just thought, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
So Chilarenda stepped in.
Yeah.
I think it was a good fight.
Yeah, very good fight, man. We should probably talk about some of last night's boxing.
What we usually do is talk about last night's and then get.
Yeah, but it's because it's because it's Denzel. It's different. Like usually, I have people on here that I've met and had a relationship with, but we've gone the other way with you. Someone you've been intriguing to us since he started talking about you. I'm like, you keep knocking people out. I'm like, fuck, we've got to get someone like you on, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucking 15 minutes in. We're back. We've done it all reverse, man. But it's good. It's cool.
The thing is, we're 15 minutes in, we've been talking about boxing the whole time, which don't always happen either.
Yeah, usually
we get sidetracked with all sorts of shit, man.
Well, that's what's going to happen in a minute.
The dog gets brought up a lot.
We're going to talk about Matchroom's show last night, and I guarantee we start talking about something else because that was. All right, let me be honest, right? It's probably one of their better shows on paper of the year so far.
This must be said. I watched some boxing again last night.
Yeah, put it out there. Well done. Shout out Richie Gray.
Not all of it, but I watched.
It was on paper. That was a good show. I watched it and I found myself fucking clock watching. I found myself distracted. I was tweeting more than I was watching because it was just nothing in that show. The shining light as always is Joshua Buatsi. Joshua Buatsi, that guy, but not only is he talented, not only is he classy, he's spiteful in the ring. He's got everything I want from someone. Do you know what I mean? He has everything. And one of the questions came in. I should probably work out who the question was from. But basically, who wins if the fight happens today? Yard Buatsi. The fight won't happen. Let's have it right. But fuck me, what a fight that would be, man!
It's a mad fight. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What would your initial thoughts be, Denzel, if Buatsi and Yard were to fight today?
The thing is, yeah, Yard. I've never been in the ring with him, but he looks like he's got some heavy hands.
Yeah.
And Buatsi's shots look like they sting. Like if he hits you in the eye, you're gonna hold your eye like, what was that? You know what I'm saying? But Yard looks like if he hits you, he's rattling your whole head. So I think it's like a fight where like. Who just lands the best shots? Like if Buatsi could take the weight of Yard's punches, he might be alright.
I see it the other way.
See the other way.
I think Buatsi looks more solid. Everything. He's upright. He's nice and calm, relaxed. But when he hits, it's like boom, 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 boom.
So they're more thudding.
It's like a thud, and it all looks so solid. And you know yourself when you've sparred. To keep calm and straight shape like that, you've got to be fully in control. Yeah, if someone's matching you for strength, you're going to get a bit messy every now and then. To stay like that, he must be so strong.
Yeah, he must be really solid.
He must be so strong to be. He's holding his shape and looks so chill about it. Yeah. Jab and want to throw one, two.
He just looks classy as well, doesn't he?
People move, boom, he don't move. Whereas Yard doesn't hold it the way he holds it.
Yeah.
He gets a bit more rack, like he's trying too hard.
Yeah, I get you.
Not trying too hard, but it's so
a different style.
Buatsi's effortlessly strong. It's all effortless. Whereas Yard's, he's got to put effort in. He's in a fucking fight. He's in a fucking fight. He's putting effort in. But look at Buatsi. He's like, threw a couple of jabs. Wow, they were bombs. They were jabs.
Yeah, I guess like at the end, I guess it's his demeanour in it. Like, after the fight,
they have opposites. Yard tells you what he's gonna do. Yeah. Buatsi just does it, and he's like, oh well.
Yeah. I threw a couple of jabs, and I looked at his reaction, and I thought, where Yard is like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Lions in the camp. I eat him for bombing and I ate with this and I did that.
It's a lot more showy, isn't it? It's a lot more. Listen, I love a showman from time to time. The problem is Yard. It's got tiresome because he hasn't stepped up opponent to the level, and now we're expected to buy into him fighting Kovalev for a world title when he hasn't even had a.
What do you think about that?
European. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Why are people writing Kovalev off in that fight?
People are crazy.
I'm seeing that online. People going. Nah, Kovalev, blah, blah, blah.
People are crazy,
man. Do you know who Kovalev is?
People buy into this mad narrative, and we all do it because I sat there and watched Lewis Ritson last night and was convinced he was going to be the man he was when he won all these, knocked all these British people over.
Yeah, that's what
we buy into this narrative as boxing fans. We're idiots. We believe what we're told. And I've been watching Anthony Yard for 12, 13 fights now, and I'm like, mate, he's good. And now it's like, okay, show me something, man. Give me someone who's going to test him.
Like I said the other week. It's easy to get 20-0 as a pro.
Yeah.
You pick the right opponents.
Yeah.
You can't get to 20-0 as a fucking amateur. You find 20, 50, 50s.
Yeah. If you get 20 as an amateur, you're something else special.
But for 20-0 as a professional,
if you could do it right.
You could just pay the same opponent 20 times to fall over.
Yeah, 100%. No, you're right. No,
and it's like, Yard looks good. Right, we want to show that Yard's got a good uppercut this time. Who leans forward, who can land banging uppercuts on? Whoa, do you see Yard's uppercuts?
I know.
Right, listen, we want to say he's got a good jab. Let's find someone who's got a wide stance with their hands open.
Yeah.
Pin him with a jab all night.
Put him in for southpaw. Don't punch. Yeah.
Shit southpaw, so we can say he can beat all the southpaws. Yeah. He's beat southpaws.
Mate, it's intelligent because he's now about to fight for a world title, having not had a test. But that's the concern. How are you going to put someone up a world title who's never been tested?
Even that fight, yeah. you see that fight? I can see what they see. It's probably gonna
In
go the
Kovalev.
same way as Kovalev and others.
The first time round or the second time?
No, the first time round.
The first time, yeah.
The first time round. Because everyone knows Kovalev don't live a clean life. Like from the Andre Ward fight, he's already exposed that.
Yeah,
he knows he drinks.
Yeah.
He's fragile to the body.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I haven't really seen Yard throw much body shots, but they might work on that.
Remember Chris Hobbs' fight? I don't know if you remember that for the Southern area.
Oh yeah. He's throwing a lot of body shots.
Literally, he must have thrown what?
But
20 body shots and
the
dropped
point
him
is-
6 times.
The point is, it's not a habit of a lifetime because you've had to dig right back down to that pile to find a body shot example.
And again,
See what I'm saying?
no disrespect.
clearly not a habit of a lifetime.
That was Chris Hobbs.
Yeah.
A tough man, but
Levels.
there's levels.
There's
you know?
levels,
There's
100%,
levels.
yeah.
And you ain't gonna land the same body shots on Kovalev you did on fucking Chris
No
Hobbs.
way,
That's the
because
truth.
come that way. But Kovalev he's a very well schooled boxer.
Yeah.
People can't forget that. You look at when he came in the game, you looked at him as this monster of the division, knocking people out, beating up all these names and stuff. But if you go back to what he's a educated boxer, like he knows how to box.
That's why he's beating people up.
That's why,
not because
exactly.
Not because he's tough.
That's
Because
why he's beating people
not
up,
living the
exactly.
life. He's taking away his own tough. Like he's
Yeah.
draining himself of that by not living the life.
100%.
But his boxing ability will always be there.
Yeah.
It will always be there. It will always be there. Like, so he has the chance to outbox Anthony Yard until a certain point where that stuff kicks in.
Yard wants to make
If Yard is fit enough and still strong during the later rounds, you take him out.
For me, Yard wants to make it messy. Just don't make it messy for 4 or 5
Stop making it
rounds.
messy.
Don't worry about throw any shot you want. Just wrap your arms around him, use a bit of strength, drain him, remind him of his age. You know what I mean? Remind him of his lifestyle.
Exactly, yeah.
When he gets around 6 and 7, start boxing smart, start picking shots.
And that's probably what they're banking on.
Yeah.
Listen, I would
Look
love
at
him to win.
Look at all the other champions.
Yeah. I would love him
some
to win.
serious dudes, and
But
they're all
listen,
young.
you never know when you're going to step up. You never know when the right time to step up is. So
It's true, yeah.
you know it's easy to get that wrong. I think. Whereas you can beat loads of British fighters and think, listen, he's smashing everyone. He beat that British fighter who was a world champion a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
but
like you
trust
said
me,
about Lewis
time,
Ritson.
time
Yeah.
changes. Time changes.
He won the British title outright in 4 rounds.
Yeah, it's fucking
Altogether.
ridiculous,
4
mate.
rounds. You're thinking,
Scotty Cardle,
boy's a
fucking
beast.
Highland Jr., very well, intelligently matched. The styles were never going to give him jip. And then you seen his last 2 fights. Last night was unbelievable. The fact that he fucking won that fight by 9 rounds by one judge.
Yeah, I saw
Mate, there's questions regarding that as well, but we've really diverted. Yard Buatsi, in one word, who wins? Buatsi.
Is that I want him to win or I think he's going to win? I'm sticking with Buatsi. I like him.
Buatsi, yeah.
He annoys me less than
He annoys you less than Yard.
I like Buatsi because do you know what? Literally, it could be because he's a nicer person in my mind. He might not be nicer if you know him, but
Yeah.
from what I see, everyone just think, you know, I'd rather watch and listen to Buatsi than would Yard.
100%.
Yard, I'm like, mate, you make a lot of noise, but I want to see.
But that's even the thing with Yard is, I feel like he does all that because like he's got that superstar effect. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you got the chance to capitalise and be a superstar, you got to kind of.
I'm not judging him for it because remember we spoke before and I was like, listen, you got to get yourself out there for stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
He's doing the right stuff. He's doing the right
I get
stuff.
what you mean. It's annoying.
I can see
people say the same thing all the time. All that lines,
Yeah.
He has his reasons why he says it. Cool,
Yeah.
do your thing. You feel me?
People are saying it. He's doing something right.
That's it.
Yeah,
It just
100%.
annoys me. Who the fuck am I? I'm just some ex-failed pro boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, couldn't even knock out Casey Blair and shit.
Obviously, he's got us talking about it now, so obviously,
Yeah,
sound
no,
right.
you're right.
Whether it's negative or positive, or same his name.
100% right.
So
But
I'm
is
down
that
by
good
that,
enough?
so
Is that
choosing
is that good enough to go to a world title having not had his chin tested?
He's already done that. Doesn't matter. Forget his chin. You
But,
can get,
no,
listen,
but from his side,
I'm talking outside the ring. This is
no,
outside
but
the
from
ring.
his side, is this a smart fucking idea? Fighting Kovalev, having never fought
the
a
correct
puncher?
opponent, yeah. Don't remember we discussed a little while ago. Nowadays, everyone wants to be a free world champion. They'll win a title in their own division, choose the weaker champion in 2 other divisions, and then just like what happened with Garcia, they'll go to the wrong division where there ain't no weak champions, or they'll just pick the wrong champion and say, oh, actually, the other 2 titles you won, I know they were world champions, but they were just weak divisions.
Yeah.
They were just weak
For
divisions.
example, look what Canelo done. Like, no disrespect to
Yeah,
Rocky Fielding, but
no, pure disrespect to Rocky Fielding, man. I don't care. The man sold his belt. Like,
listen,
it wasn't a real world title.
It wasn't a world title, but at the end of the day, you got to look at that.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Like, the
There's
level of
levels in in any
there's
division,
levels even in the world champions.
in
Is what
the
you're getting at, innit?
division. There can be, there's levels in a world title. I could win a world title matched very fucking carefully. You can do it if you're
100%.
selling tickets, you're making people money.
100%.
They will make it happen. If you keep making them money, they'll
Yeah.
find a fucking way.
100%.
That's what will happen. And then
100%.
eventually they'll go, right, he's made me 5 million, but it's took me 10 years. This next fight's going to get me 30 million. He's going to get knocked out. But I'm going to get 30 million quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, I fancy that, Rich. Like, you're going to fight Denzel. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Trust me, you're good. He's weak. You're fine.
No, you're right. You're right.
He went 2 rounds in his last fight.
yeah. He's shit now. Yeah, it took him 2 rounds to get someone. Don't worry about that guy. Fucking no. No, it'd be a good for yard boy. Actually, won't happen. But imagine it did in like 3 years.
But I feel like they know what they're doing. They're trying to build that. That is a.
But we always have this politics madness, the Warren and Hearn thing.
Yeah, and that.
It's a distinct possibility.
For me,
they could be on Fury and Wilder's level, and or Joshua.
For me, Boatsy would want that before Yard would.
100%. I feel like
Boatsy would take a loss, I think, and go, all right, cool, you know.
That's what I thought.
I like to think he would. I don't know about
enough.
See, Boatsy, he seems to me a guy where it's like he doesn't really fuss about opponents. So it's like if they say to him, "You're fighting this guy," he'd be like, "Let's go." He wouldn't question it. If they offered him Bivol right now, he'd probably be like,
"You're right."
I'm not saying Yard would say no, but I'm saying Boatsy would go.
But you can say that. Do you know why?
No, but then we'll calculate with their stuff. I feel like him and his trainers and stuff would be like, "No, listen, you've got to look at it this way."
Yeah, agree. Tunde Ajayi, who's his manager, trainer, you can see how close they are, the bond. But I believe he has not delusions, but maybe delusions on the like he wouldn't go to the British level, which he believed he was above a British level, but there's no proof of that. Boatsy got offered the British and went, "Yep, thanks, fight, bam, he's now British champion."
Boatsy would go, "Okay, I'll have that fight," and then let me know where it's going to be and how it's going to get paid. Whereas Yardy would go, "All right, as long as it's here in this ring with these gloves at this time."
I don't think it's him. I don't think it's him.
No, it's the team. Yeah,
he would be like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
But
I said this before, I don't believe there's one fighter in the world that wouldn't fight another fighter. I really don't believe that.
For me, Denzel now. I'm ill that day.
You're not a fighter, mate. Sit down. You've got your media, man. You just smashed the cider. Shut up.
I feel like there's some fighters as well that they won't say no because it looks bad, but they might not really want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's a lot of fights that could happen if you force the issue.
Yeah.
Like, I get everyone says the managers and teams and stuff, but if you really sat down and said, no, get me this fight.
You can tell your manager, no, I want this fight, or I'm just going to go on strike. You can't do much about it. You can't just say I'm leaving because you've got a contract, but you can go, all right, listen, that's the fight, or I'm not going to fight anyone.
Yeah.
You could do that as much as a manager can do that.
Yeah, literally.
So the fighters could fight the case to get that fight.
There's another question on Boatsy, and it's from our boy, Mayor of Brixton, Rob Martin. You know, Rob,
yeah, you're my guy.
Mate, honestly, if I was going to the trenches and I could bring one person, I'd bring Rob Martin. I'm not joking. I'd have that guy with me. He is the most loyal motherfucker. I love that geezer to death, man. But
like Craig Scott.
Not like Craig Scott. Snake. Man's a snake.
He's a snake.
He's a snake.
Boxing
social, man's a snake.
Well, no, he went for the money, innit?
He did. That's exactly what he did.
He's got to eat, man.
Rob's question. Boatsy, you know. Boatsy is now British champion in 10 fights. Should he defend this title to own it outright or move on quickly? On a side note, I always find it touching when the parents are immigrants and their children cement themselves in history by winning it and dedicating it to them. # the land of opportunity. It was a lovely moment. You see him, he brought his dad in the ring and thanked his dad for bringing him to the country, and it's a beautiful thing, you know. It's moments like that you can see what it means and the reason that why his parents would do that and bring him to say it was beautiful to see, man. But the question itself, should he hang around British or should he just fucking move up?
How was he?
26?
No, he can chill, man.
26?
He can chill. He can defend it.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that old, is he?
Yeah, he's only had 10 fights.
He's got no rush.
He's not rushed. And all the champions are tough. So you don't want to go in there and feel like you didn't have the same experience as the champions did, because amateur-wise, all the champions have had the same amateur experience, if not more, than him. But they just have that edge as professionals. They've been in there longer, had tougher fights, had more meaningful fights, had more 50-50 fights and stuff, where he hasn't. So he can defend it a couple of times while he builds himself. Listen, the longer he fights, the more he fights and the longer he goes on the bet, he gets. He hit his prime in about 2 years.
Yeah.
He ain't got a headline on these shows. He ain't got to make a big deal out of it. He can be like, right, I'm just going to get more experience, like you say.
Yeah.
So we'll just throw him on the card. We'll throw him on the card, and he can get quite a few fights in.
And
Not easy fights, but you know.
Because that was I believe,
learning fights. Yeah.
Because it was vacant, I believe it was mandated by the board for those two. So
Yeah,
he can have a voluntary next, and then maybe one mandatory after. But you know, there are the likes of Spider Richards knocking about. I don't think they would do it because it's the same stable. You know what I mean? But who else is there really knocking? Hosea Burton could fight a Burton maybe.
Andre Sterling just won
Andre Sterling, fair
eliminator.
Yeah.
So I think they've. I'm not really sure, but I think they've had history as the amateurs. So
there's names, isn't there? Where again, it might not be the headline act, but you know, like we said, Ritson was beating people in quick succession to get that British outright. So Boatsy 100% could do that, man.
Yeah, 100%. And the more camps he has, the more fights he has, the longer he goes, the better he gets. So you can hang about for a bit.
let's move on. You know what? I did touch on Lewis Ritson, but I don't really want to go into the detail. But what I do want to go into the detail about is because there was a question on it. The scorecards in his fight were fucking horrific. Sky couldn't make a case for giving it to him, and listen, they're as biased as you'll find. Macklin gave it 5 rounds each. I gave it 5 each or 6-4 to the other fella. But the scorecards came out 9-1 and 8-2 twice. And there's a question about that from Josh Douglas. Thank you, mate. Big fan of the pod. Wanted to ping over a question. Is last night's scoring in the Ritson fight indicative of a wider issue in British boxing at the moment, where away fighters aren't given a fair crack of the whip? Is it at the moment, or has that always happened? Like, there's some bad ones, man. Like, and it's not just, well, it is just away fighters. The one that will always stick out to me is Darryl Williams last year. Darryl Williams is the British champion in my eyes. I don't give a fuck what they tell you. Zach Parker didn't beat him, but it was a Sauerland show, and he's a Sauerland fighter. But do the judges sit there at ringside and go, home fighter, yeah, gets an extra? I don't know. I've never been a judge to answer that question, but what I can tell you is it's disgusting.
It's hard to say if they actually sit there and think that. It's not really like, I don't think it would last long if they were literally being completely biased on every single thing. I think like there'd be too many questions around. I get it, there's questionable decisions all the time. You've probably been on the end of a fucking rope decision yourself for the amateurs and things like that. But sitting there at that side of the ring is completely different to sitting that side of the ring. And that sort of ring. So you may sit at one angle and think he punched the fuck out of him. From the other side of the ring, it looks completely different. Okay. And I get it. Listen, you can be cold up in a ball in the corner. He's lifting his leg off. He's lifting his leg off the floor to try and defend himself. And they're like, oh, that was an even round there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I get that there are times.
I 100% agree with that. I had it last week. I told you. Steve Goodwin was one side, me was the other,
think it's just
and we
bad
disagree.
Judging. I think it's just bad judging. I think it's bad judging. Imagine this: 2 boys come out, they're both just swinging punches left, right, and centre. Someone's getting hit. One judge goes, do you know what? They were battling. He landed the first and the last, so I'm giving the round for that reason. Don't do tied rounds. The other judge goes, well, I do tied rounds. That's a tie round. Yeah. The other judge goes, he landed 1 or 2, but you know he looked classy with his movement. Remember, every judge will see something they like differently.
Okay, so that...
I'm not saying that there isn't...
No, I understand.
I'm saying I can't imagine...
Not everything's corrupt, yeah. We have this weird thing where we all go, it's all corrupt.
Yeah, I just think people need to just get over it. And robberies and shit, so if it's within 2 rounds, bollocks, it ain't a robbery. Yeah, you've just seen it different to someone else. Yeah, within 2 rounds on a 10-round fight, mate, don't care what you say. Any round that's like, oh, yeah, I think he won that. If you think he won that, it could have gone the other way.
Okay.
Unless undoubtedly, without any question whatsoever, every single round you think, you go, okay, yeah.
It fucking drops him every
But there are times where people are like moaning. Canelo and Golovkin, again, everyone's complaining. Don't care, like, regardless of what you think, it was close enough for there to be arguments. It was close enough for that. People go, corruption. Maybe it was corruption. Let's imagine there wasn't corruption. It was close enough for fights to go either way. And I think sometimes people are just so up their own fighters' asses that they're following that they can't see beyond that. They really can't see beyond 100%. That. I've had mates and they're fighting, they're like, I thought I won that, and I'm like, it's close, man. Like, you know,
close. Yeah, no, close fights can go either way.
I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I want to tell you the truth.
The judges, it depends on what they're scoring, innit? Like, all 3 of us here, there's all 3 different opinions of what we like in the fight.
What we like, yeah.
I'm saying, so
they don't sit you down in the course and say, right, you have to. They say we look for clean shots. Yeah. We look for accurate punching. We look for that.
That's the basics.
But if he goes boom, 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 6 clean shots and no power, one judge might go, fuck, I like that, and the other guy might just take them all and then land 1 clean absolute bomb
and sting. And
that judge loves that. Oh, that was. He took his time, drew him in, landed a bomb, whereas he's like, well, naturally hit him 6 times, so. Some people completely don't count.
There are not many sports where it can be left open to interpretation.
Opinion.
Yeah, opinion.
It's just an opinion.
Football, did the ball cross the line or not? It's that simple. In darts, did it go in the fucking bed or not? Golf, did it go in the hole? Boxing, did you like the way he sort of pivoted around the corner? And then it's true, isn't it? It's men's opinions or women's opinions. It's 2019. Let's talk about women's boxing in a minute.
Don't assume anyone's gender.
Yeah. Apologies to all you gender fluid people listening. But yeah, no. It was a question from Lou Smith about Lewis Ritson.
Lou Smith, who's that?
Lou Smith, leave him alone. Lou Smith, question from him. He's actually sent about 11.
No, yeah.
Yeah, mate, it's Lou Smith. He loves it.
Shout out Lou Smith. 6 questions every week.
There was one regarding Ritson.
Lou don't even listen to the pod.
I saw Sam allude to it on his Twitter last night about how one-dimensional Ritson is if he can't blow people out. What sort of level can he get to with this one-dimensional style? Yeah, my opinion is he is very one-dimensional. If he can't bomb you out, he kind of then gets a bit aggressive and a bit messy, but not clean. And he failed at Euro level. And last night he
Euro level.
Yeah, Euro level.
European.
European. I'm
Euro
very
level.
lazy.
Yeah.
European level. Then is that? But you make it feel better now.
You can call it Euro level, but I'm just thinking of.
Why can't I just coin a new phrase?
Great, whatever phrase you want. It's your podcast.
It is, but Euro level. It's the same as European, isn't it?
Oh, it's the same. But
Does that change when Brexit happens? Is it like
still Europe,
out
still
of
Europe.
no? But can we call it something else? Like our former
Can we
mate.
still fight for the European title?
That's a good point. Would the EBU be not open to British fighters? That's a good question. Phone Theresa May.
Theresa May, excuse me.
You're a bit busy, girl.
I just want to know.
Question.
In the boxing world.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Lewis Richardson's going to be massive in Newcastle no matter who he fights. I don't think he'll get past European level, in my opinion.
I think he's found his mark.
His ceiling.
I think he's found his ceiling. Yeah, I think British level, that's him.
Yeah.
Because
which is no shame in.
no,
There's no shame in it.
Yeah, that's he's done well to get there.
Yeah.
Like people don't get there in a lifetime. Some people
That's
get to
something
some area level and they keep boxing to try and to pass that and they can't. So British levels, and he won it outright.
Yeah.
But obviously he wants to do more than that because he won it outright and
he's
how
young,
he
isn't
won
he?
it.
25, 26, something like that.
Yeah, but he's got to learn another way to box because look, he wants to go world level. Yeah, what Trish fighter doesn't.
Yeah.
It's hard to change though at the age of
It's
25,
hard
26.
to change.
It's hard to
That's what
change
you do.
styles, man.
And it's worked for this long. Unless he gets a new trainer and tries to draw something in, but that will take years.
Yeah.
But you look at the world scene.
At them weights, how many years they got.
Exactly, at them weights,
Yeah.
exactly. But you look at the world scene, yeah? And you look at all the fighters at that level, even the ones that haven't got a title. Can you see him beating any of them, in all honesty?
No.
What's he, a lightweight?
Well, he went up to super light yesterday for the first
Oh,
time.
he's a super lightweight.
He had to.
That's
He
even- that's
was
even-
meant to be. He was meant to be fighting Townend for the British, like what 3 weeks ago. His lightweight British, and went, I'm vacating. I can't make lightweight anymore.
Oh, swear.
Yeah, and last night was at super lightweight. But this is why I don't like this shit. The guy he fought is a career lightweight, so they both went up together. So even if he'd have blown this guy out, which he
Yeah.
did not do, we still don't know you at super lightweight. Why not give me give you a career super lightweight,
And sometimes that's
and then
not
we
even
can
the best
really
option.
judge you.
Look
But
what happened to
Jamani, we don't really know how
Morgan
good you are, Jamani.
Lanage,
You beat a lightweight.
yeah. Jamani, Jamani Camaro.
Look
what
what
a
happened to
hero.
Linares. He's probably going to go back down.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
Garcia's gonna have to go back down. Like,
Yeah, Garcia.
he went up for one freak fight.
Or
but-
he could go up one more division to a weaker
for
champion.
fuck's sake! You reckon he can go up to super welterweight?
He got to fucking
Little
middleweight if
Mikey.
there's a weak champion.
Mental.
How many times have I said to you too many weight divisions?
Yeah, you talk about it every week. It's boring. To be honest.
It's not boring. People like it.
How do you know? Then my messenger said, "I love your talk about too many divisions, Rich. Your mum don't count. Your mum don't count. Well done, son.
think-
Really proud of you."
I think they should change the divisions to small, medium, and large.
Yeah, I like that.
If you're really fucking small, unlucky son.
I still wait for the day there's one title. That's the day I live
That's
for.
never happening.
Never,
That's
ever.
never happening.
There'll be
Like,
more.
They'll create another title, just like especially like say for example the WBC. Like what did Broner and Mikey Garcia fight for? WBC Diamond.
WC Diamond, yeah. Then
Was that a real world title? Like, does that count as
Then like you said
is
earlier.
he still a 140-pound champion?
then you got the WBA, then the WBA regular,
Saying that
the
you got the
interim,
super,
and then the
interim.
gold. They gave Joe Joyce the WBA gold title.
Gold.
Yeah, it's what he beat.
What about Joyce and Dubois?
It's a big question on
How
that.
does that come up?
Do you want to answer that question now while we're on it?
I don't think it'll happen.
All right. The question is from Martin from the New Age Boxing Podcast. Thank you very much to Martin. You checking that's still working? Yeah, you're on it. The board have ordered Joyce versus Dubois for the British title. Assuming it doesn't happen, what do you think should be the repercussions of a fighter pulling out of the process? Unofficially, you can see them frozen out for board titles for like sometimes. But could there be a different punishment? For example, financial, ban from fighting, the promoter can't put on a board title for 3 months, or is the current process okay? Basically, if title fights ordered it can just be ignored. Surely it lessens their importance. How many times do we see it?
That is true. Should there be a punishment? Yeah, but it depends on your excuse, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm going a different route. Is everyone's
I
excuse?
order this. My man's not ready for that. We're going to go a different route.
Yeah.
My man's not ready for that.
I don't think it's fair to bring out a punishment.
That's not a legitimate excuse, though, is it? Like, imagine in football, you get all the way to the finals of the competition. You go, actually, no, I don't fancy playing them. Actually, nah, we'll let someone else.
That's the thing, though. In boxing, there's too many different routes.
Yeah.
There's way too many different
Yeah.
routes to take.
Listen,
So
they're
you can get
protecting
away with
records.
things.
It's all down to protecting records.
100%.
That's what? Right, you're not scared.
Mate,
to fight.
Conor Ben
Listen,
won a
you're not
WBA
scared-
something or
You're
other.
not scared
and
to
it's-
fight these people. If you're scared to fight, we shouldn't be fighting. If you're scared to fight, we shouldn't be fighting. So the fact is, they've ordered this fight. You both want this title at some point in your career. Why are you not fighting for it?
I think that fight would happen though, But I think if the money's right, but at the end of the day, if it goes to purse bids, the money can't not be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they let it go to purse bids, then 9 times out of 10.
I think they'll get paid well for it. I think it could be for any title.
It's one of them weird fights, yeah.
It's never going to be big in America.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
It's only ever going to be big here
That's
anyway.
exactly it.
So would it make a difference if it was for a world title?
It does. That's what I was
Doesn't
going to
make a
say. This fight doesn't have to be for a title. Like Joyce and Dubois, then it stands up. You put both of their names and what we believe Dubois will be, Joyce, etc. You put them together. You go. The fight doesn't have to be for a single title. The fact that it's been mandated for the British should help the system along, but it won't. Like
the only way I can't see this fight happening. Joe Joyce has been mandated for the European title as well
against Caballero, isn't it?
Yeah. So if he wants to go for that, it makes sense. He can legit say, "Listen, I'm mandated for a title above that." But if he wants that British, then he'll take that fight. But for some reason, I think it will happen. I think they're both on it. I think they're both guys that will actually fight, especially going through what Joe Joyce who he's fighting. Like in his debut, he fought Ian Lewison. Like who does that?
Yeah.
Like he
ain't got no time to waste.
He ain't got time to waste exactly.
Yeah.
And Daniel just wants to punch all the time, so he's gonna take that fight.
Would that be the worst press conference in the history of boxing if them two fought? Dubois, who don't talk, and Joyce, who has Sam Jones do his talking for him.
That's the one.
The gloves are off. Yeah.
They might
I'm gonna
do
win
that.
They might as well not do
The
that.
gloves are off.
Yeah.
That's not gonna help. That's gonna help not sell the fight.
Yeah.
No, just fight
I'm
really
gonna win.
interesting.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. But I'm going to punch you. I'm going to punch you.
David,
You have to get that Sam Jones.
Sam Jones, yeah. He packs up quite good. Like he's like the Paul Bearer, isn't it, to Undertaker. He does the shouting for him, isn't it?
Kevin Hart on the Rock.
Yeah. Listen, I'd like to see it happen. 90% of people on Twitter don't seem to like it. Don't seem to believe it will. But we'll see, man.
Because the way politics is in boxing now, everyone just feels like any big fight, nah, that's not happening. Look at the way boxing is today. Why would that happen?
Yeah.
But if it does happen, what then? Like, what's everyone say then?
I'd like it to happen, man. Dubois is a 21-year-old man. If he loses to Joe Joyce, so what?
21.
Go
in
again.
In that division, he can go for another fucking 19 years.
Well, Oliver McCall, 53 years old, had a fight last night.
Yeah.
He made his debut 2 years before I was born, and I'm an old fucker. You know what I mean? Mental.
Listen, he's got at least 19 years in him. Mate, 19 years left in his career. Heavyweight, really. You can go to your 40s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is he 21, did you say?
21, I think, yeah. Because they wanted the British at 20 and the board is too young.
19 years.
Yeah, he's not in no rush anyway, so...
Yeah.
I know they're trying to build up that Nathan Gorman fight as well.
So we don't think there's any way that the board could punish or anything like that?
I think they could, but I don't think they would.
I don't think they should either.
You don't think they should?
Nah, I don't think they should.
Just let people do what they want.
You just don't mandate them again. Like the fight, okay, cool, we know what you're on. We won't be trying to mandate.
Well, that seems
no favours for you now. If you want to get put in a man's position for anything, we know what you're like. You're gonna pull out. Nah, no chance. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Lots of fighters that pull out.
That's a good point.
We gave you a chance. You didn't want it. And you moved on to.
It seems to have happened with Anthony Yard because he was mandated to fight. I think it was Jose Alberto, wasn't it? Or was it
Jose Alberto?
Yeah, and he said no. I want. Yeah, no. All right, that was it. He was due to fight Jose Alberto for the final eliminator. And they turned it down because they said, well, we want Frank. Frank Buglioni was the champion at the time. Yeah. So he wasn't willing to go through the process. So I believe the board were like, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's why when people were saying that Bugatsi Yard's going to get mandated, it's like, why would they do that again?
Yeah.
They know we just pulled out. Yeah. So what's the point? They'll only be making themselves look like idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Let's move on to what will go down as one of the most epic fights. I mean, female fights you're ever likely to see. Shannon Courtney. I mean, what a fight that was, wasn't it? Toe to toe, fucking pure class. Did you watch it? Yeah. Yeah. Great fight, wasn't it?
It was great, mate. Yeah. You made me turn PlayStation.
I had to. It was that.
You made me turn the PlayStation off to put that on.
It was that laughable.
I said FIFA. I had to turn FIFA off to turn that on.
I said, please put this comedy on that I'm watching on Sky Sports right now.
You actually rang me up, Rich. You watching this?
I was. Oh my god. So fucking hell. This girl who Shannon Courtney was fighting blatantly looked like she got told it was a boxer size class at 9 PM. She made her way down. She had no groin guard. They had to stop. Yeah, she rolled up. She's like,
someone put up a tweet saying, "Can someone make sure Charlie Edwards gets his?"
This poor girl
was
absolutely petrified. Her fucking the fear in her eyes. It was like she was in a horror film. She was. And she just stood there with.
But you see that? That's bullying, man. I'm not gonna lie.
That's bullying.
That's bullying. I didn't see the fight, but from what I'm hearing, like, listen. I know you got to build people's records and stuff like that, but things like that shouldn't happen.
The talent pool in women's boxing is so small.
This last week.
It's exactly
what's the reason why? Do you follow women's boxing?
When Katie Taylor and Carissa Souza boxing, yeah.
That's what we all say. The ones that grab your attention, But the underneath, like I like Chantel Cameron. I rate her a lot because she punches. Like, you know, some of them are. Don't get me wrong, they're technically very good. Shannon Courtney, technically very good. She ain't never going to stop anyone. She couldn't stop that little girl last night who's got school again tomorrow, who was wearing her older brother's shorts, her fucking younger sister's bra, Charlie Edwards' groin guard, had to be taught mid-fight how to keep her gloves up, and Shannon Courtney still couldn't stop her. You ain't going to see her stop anyone. Trust me.
Yeah,
and that's on at prime time, 9 p.m. on television.
But I guess as like women boxing, I think it's hard to stop people in women boxing.
They're trying to give
Clarissa Shields looks like a savage, but she's got like one stoppage on her thing, or maybe two. So I think the only person that gets stoppage is Katie Taylor.
If they stop putting women's boxing, is boxing in danger of getting accused of sexism.
Oh, 100%.
Now let's say, listen, I'm sorry there's no market for it. People ain't buying it. Oh, that's fucking sexist. Boxing ain't giving women chance. We give you exactly the same chance. Funny.
The people saying that, are you the one? Are you paying money to go and watch it? You're just talking.
Yeah. You're not winning. All right. Next time a girl goes to you, listen, 50 quid on fighting this weekend. If 150 you ain't going to watch her, don't complain when there's no females boxing on TV. Because you ain't forking out 50 quid every. Like 4 or 5 times a year for her to even get to the position where she can fight on TV.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. No, you're right.
There's loads of men on TV, less women, because the women ain't selling tickets. Because am I going to pay for a woman to go and watch a fight, or am I going to watch Denzel knock someone out?
Do you know what happens?
That's but the truth is, you put in. It's not like boxing like a boxing match. I like watching people get fucked up. I don't like watching people that get bullied. But I'd like to see 2 people that are up for it. Smash the fuck out of each other. Like that's fighting. That's what you watch. That's why I watch it. 2 women. Usually, a lot of the time, there's a girl that's up for it. She trained well, beating the shit out of some poor innocent girl. I don't want to pay to see that shit. I feel sorry for the girl when she's getting her head kicked in. I don't want to pay money to see that, and I wouldn't. I don't want to see that on my TV. I'm not trying to say I don't want to see.
No,
if people are willing to pay for women to box, I'm well happy for them to do that. That's their thing. It's nothing to do with me. I don't just because I don't like it. But. No, it's not for me.
Shannon Courtney's fight. What the danger you have is right. Shannon Courtney's fight, and this is the truth of it. It was a showpiece for women's boxing because Eddie doesn't put on women's fights really, except Katie Taylor. Natasha Jonas has done a few next gen, but even she's off telly. So you sold me the story, yeah, because it's a wonderful story. Adam Smith told me Shannon Courtney came to the Copper Box 4 or 5 years ago, fell in love with the sport, and now she's making her debut. This is great. Very happy for her. Well done. Do I have to watch this at 9 p.m. on a Saturday because she's living her dream? Do I? Because if the standard of boxing isn't what I should be expecting...
So you're saying this is the best my country
This is the best you can offer me.
My country. Like, these are like the big shows. This is the big show.
Yeah. My Saturday night on Sky Sports, you're giving me Shannon Courtney against this little girl.
A dinner lady.
100% she's a dinner lady. Part-time because she's got to study as well. But, no, legit. Like, that's the best you can offer me. And you think that's a good advert for women's boxing. It's not.
Do you think about this then? Right, you've boxed on some TV shows now. Do you really think... You can lie or make whatever. Every fighter will answer this differently. Do you want to see fights on TV? Do you want to be on TV fighting journeymen? Let's say you pay. Would you rather be on fighting a 50-50? Yeah, you may lose, but you're in a 50-50. Or would you rather do all your journeymen on small hall shows and only do real 50-50s on TV? Or would you rather have a couple of journeymen on TV so you can look good?
No. I want 50-50s all the way around. That's just me though. But other fighters are different. Some people want journeymen on TV to look good. But I don't think that's fair. I think people are paying money to come and see you fight. Give them a fight.
That's the key word.
Yeah.
Fight.
Give them a fight. Not bully someone. Not showcase. Fight. So give them a fight. Yeah. That's me though. That's my opinion on things.
That's the point I made the other week. You haven't had 10 fights. You're not 10-0 against fighters. Most fighters. You're not fucking 10-0. Like you've had 2 fights, 1 fight. Actually, Demet. You knocked him out, albeit, but the rest of the guys, really, they're like, listen. You give me money, I'll run around the ring. I'm supposed to run around for 4 fucking rounds, but you don't give them. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to turn up, run around the ring, you get some rounds and get a feel of it all. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of these boys get carried away and then they're like, yeah, I'm 15 now, they're going to go on TV, I'm 15 now, they'll fight another plum, and then I'm 16 now, I've been on Sky Sports. Well, actually, you
beat William Warburton, who loses every week because that's his
William Warburton chose to lose, and if he wanted to beat you, he fucking whacked.
That's one thing that gets to me as well. Like, listen, like no disrespect to any fighter, like they get in the ring and they do their thing. But you see when these guys just like start celebrating like they won a world title when you box someone that's coming to lose. Like they come to lose. Like they think, damn, if I win, I'm not getting paid next week. That's their mindset. That's their mindset. They're disappointed if they win.
They win by accident sometimes.
I spoke to one of these journeymen, but they knocked out someone by accident. And they're like, 4 guys pulled out. I didn't get no money for the rest of the month. I'm like,
man,
you knocked them up by accident. I ain't heard that. You knocked them up by accident.
Didn't William Warburton knock out Aaron Morgan by accident? I'm pretty sure. He took a few digs in the corner and was like, oh, that hurt. And he come back with a big shot. And
Johnny
he's like, oh,
Green,
shit,
because they don't
I'm
want to
putting
get
out now.
stopped.
Whoops.
These guys can actually fight.
Yeah.
They can actually fight.
Mate,
Like,
you
I swear
can't have. Look at Lewis Van Poot. You can't have that many fights protecting yourself and not be able to do this. Like, look how tough they have to be. Yeah.
These guys can, but they choose not to.
Yeah.
So when you beat these guys and you go around posting up the clips of the fight saying, yeah, this guy was meant to be this and that, and then
I don't mind that
I
they market
overcame that.
themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not against them marketing themselves.
No,
I'm
market
against.
can't.
I'm against.
Realistic.
Put it on social media. Do your thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'd expect
But
you to be
the
like,
excitement
I'm
of it.
10-0, 9 knockouts. Come watch me. I'm selling tickets.
Yeah.
But then when you're not on there and you're here like, oh, the camera's off, you'd be like, fucking hell, I just want a real fight.
Yeah.
But you're not going to go online. You're not going to go online and go, oh, I'm fighting another journeyman. He's probably going to go down in the second because he's not that good.
Yeah.
That's not how you market.
Yeah.
But it's when fighters, off camera, off fucking interviews, genuinely believe now that they have beat all these contenders in their mind. They're like, I'm 10-0. I've had proper 10 hard fights. No. Bruh, they've had 7 wins between all of them. I've got 5 of them was from one fighter.
That just shows the level that people are at.
In their
you know what I'm
mind,
saying?
yeah.
In their minds. For me, like, if you beat someone, my best win, my favourite win was against Ashley Donuts. I know that was only 1 round. But the fight that I enjoyed myself the most lively opponent. The fight I enjoyed myself the most in was Christian Gomez.
That's
that
how
went
it
rounds.
goes. He's from like Plymouth or something,
rounds.
Christian Gomez, isn't it? They come down from up there, like him and Adaway.
Yeah.
Adaway, who beat Tom Ansell on the Goodwin show last night. Them boys in Plymouth, they're tough dudes, man.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. I ripped him with some body shots, and he was, but he was taking. I was like, you're pissing blood after this, bro. I know you are. Cool, fair play to you. You stuck in there, obviously.
Did you drop him at all?
No. I don't think he's been dropped.
He
before.
weren't boxing for the rest of the month anyway. Might as well have got stopped.
Okay, you got a little cut in his eye, but I think he came in there knowing that, well, this guy's not taking so far, so don't open up. So he's coming in forward, he's walking me down and stuff, but I'm just switching southpaw.
Trying to keep you on edge though.
Yeah, trying to
If he
keep
backs up too much,
She's jobbing it.
Yeah, exactly. If he backs up too much, then he's
trying to
giving me,
he's trying to keep
he's
you,
inviting me to
give you
come.
something to think about. If
Yeah.
you've got nothing to think about, you just open up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he was smarter than the other guys. He made better decisions in there, so he got through the round.
100%. But it's
I've seen him win a couple of times actually on small ball. I think the Carl Greaves show a little while back. Yeah, like you said, the guys can turn it on, man.
yeah, they
They can turn it on.
That's why when you go with these guys, it's like, don't think for a second you're gonna blow out this guy. They're gonna turn it on. Like even my last fight, he was a last minute opponent. He came rushing straight at me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, bro, what's this dude doing?
Bro, I paid you to lose.
He's gone on holiday.
I'm like, cool, say no more. I'm just holding it up. I'm like, alright, cool. When you finish, I'm gonna catch you. When I catch you, I'm not letting you go. That second one, I caught him and I thought, oh, I'm on you now, bro. I'm on you now. And obviously, I ended up he ended up stopping him. But I wanted to knock him out because of the way he came at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because the whole day was frustrating. Like, you know, like I was told I was boxing at 6:30.
Did you warm up fucking multiple times?
I was warming up from 6:30. I never fought till after yard fought.
How many times do I say this?
Annoying.
This is my biggest problem with this float bizarreness we have in this country. Floats should not exist. They should not exist.
But then again, it's like you need them because it's like if someone gets early knockout, you're just going to be holding on the show.
See,
And obviously,
this was
Yeah,
my
but we had
point.
this, and Sam said,
I had a big.
pay your money for a 6-fight card.
Yeah.
If 6 fights go distance, you've got a long night. If 6 fights get knocked out in the first round,
This was my rant a couple of weeks ago, and the reason is because I like UFC, and they have a card 1 to 11. These are the fights. If they all finish in the first round, we're going to build up the main event. If you're bored of that, we're going to build up next week's show. If you're bored of that, we're going to build up the big fucking show in 3 months' time. And we're going to talk. That's why we're pundits. That's why we're here to do our job and tell you. That way, this doesn't happen. That's not good for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to warm up at 6:30 and put on it's gone. I'm going to warm up. It's not good for you. Warming up 8 times
but
in a
having
fight.
said that,
You might not have even fought.
he's at no disadvantage.
Sometimes you might not fight. I know it's the same for the opponent,
so.
but let's say for example he did get on telly. Yeah, they all went short, and right, you've got another slot before yards. You're about to. Fucking I'm a bit flat. I've been warmed up 4 times. I've got to rush out. I'm not gonna get my entry stock. It all rushes
he's
out.
a danger of underperforming because of what they've done to him.
And people go, oh yeah, but it's time to shine.
And that's what it was. That's why even after that, like, I don't really celebrate after the fight. But after that, I was just like, oh yes, it's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wore it all night. Didn't know I was gonna get on.
Are you in a position that
I'm
could
gonna
happen
treat
to you?
myself to 500 push-ups.
Are you in a position that could happen to you again though?
No, I'm not.
You won't allow
No,
it to
that won't
happen.
happen again. So that's good. So it wasn't meant to happen the first time.
Yeah.
It's just the problem with opponents. I had a schedule. I was meant to fight. I think second, and the show started at 6:30. I meant to fight second, but with the opponents and stuff, he flew in on the day, so he had to have time to get ready and stuff,
Medical
and eat and stuff. You told me,
shit.
so
Yeah.
they had to push me back, put me afloat because of that. So obviously, I'm not going to fault anyone and be like, I was afloat and da da da. The opponent situation was all mad.
Yeah.
They met one
And like you said, he's gone through the shit as well. The opponent has. That's probably why he can't rush. I'm fucking sick of this day, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I just got in.
Just
I'm here for holiday, man. Come on, got my money.
Yeah.
I'm saying. So he probably went out and enjoyed after. I don't know. He might have had a headache, but he probably went out and enjoyed after.
He's going out on the piss.
Boxing in 2019 needs to get with the times, man. There's got to be a way to change this. I've said it. I've ranted about it enough before. It's time to move with the times and find a way that floats. If they float, what's the point? Just have them set schedule. These are the guys building fights. They're this time.
You're right.
There's half an hour between fights. So what? I'm gonna talk. Blah blah blah.
And a lot of the times, you can't really. Well, this is my opinion. I don't think you can blame the promoters because you might get a manager that's like, listen, you got to get my fighter in this card. You're getting boxing a while, and they go, listen, the best we can do is make him a float. If the show's full, and you accept it. Of course. So you got to be that float, and you got to take that. Yeah. So that's obviously another situation as well.
Yeah. You watch in a year or two when boxing gets rid of floats, and I don't get any praise for it. I don't get any recognition. It was my idea. You watch.
They just get complained. Oh shit! Now they just build up the fights for half an hour. And fucking sitting here drinking.
Why was there an hour between fights?
An hour between fights? Who's this? Whose fucking idea was this? This guy,
exactly
this guy right here.
No, sorry guys, sorry, my bad.
Bad idea. Sorry.
Waddy Camacho, Lawrence Okoli. There's
I know the result. I didn't watch this one.
Lawrence Okoli did what he does. He's big.
I don't think he's that much bigger than Waddy though.
Waddy does what
Waddy's a big dude.
He steps up when he don't ever win when he steps up.
Listen, Waddy's been
nerves and stuff. I don't know.
I think Waddy's been to the world so many times. Waddy's the guy was on Sky before when Okoli was still like probably just starting his amateur career. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's a long time pro. He's been written off. I've written him off when Arthur Nickbell knocked him out the first time 2 years ago. I think Waddy should call it a day. He came back. He won his title back. And then he knocked Arthur back out in the rematch. Well, he didn't knock him out. That's not true. It was a technical scorecard, didn't it? He dropped him. And he landed on the table, so he done his fucking back in. So they went to the scorecards. But what I'm saying is he is grafted to get back to the television. So I don't think anyone can begrudge him getting his opportunity on television. The problem is he fought Lawrence Okoli, who, in my opinion, is a horrific boxer to watch. And he's probably an even worse boxer to fight. Because he's just horrible. There's so much of him. He's everywhere. You're at a cruiserweight limit and he looks like a fucking big heavyweight. I don't know how he makes the cruiserweight limit. He's all arms, he's all shoulders, he's fucking elbows, and he's horrible.
Yeah, he is horrible.
And I don't like the geezer, but I wouldn't want to fight him. Like, seriously, he's a fucking nightmare. He's awkward as fuck.
Mostly because you're scared, or?
What weighs more, him or my car? I mean, I just run him straight over. Bam! He ain't getting up then, is he?
He's a big guy.
He is a big guy. Hey, man, you put a dent in my fucking bumper, bro. No, listen, it's effective, but it's not fun to watch, and I don't enjoy watching him box. And he stunk the place out of Okoli. He looked alright against Watkins. Isaac Chamberlain. He did the same with Matty Askin, but guess what? He's the British champ, so fuck you. That's exactly what he can say.
I've said this before. I feel like when he steps up, he goes into safety mode.
Yeah.
And that's his safety mode, when he just starts jabbing and holding, using his strength and that. Yeah, but then when he fights someone that's he knows ain't on his level, he opens up a bit more and does more things.
Yeah.
But I think you can see clearly with Matty Askins and Isaac Chamberlain, in his mind, he found them as threats.
Yeah, so he nullified them.
All these guys can beat me, so he just started doing things that he knows they can't cope with.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah. Rob Martin's second question was regarding this. Thoughts on Waddy coming to an end? We voted him as a small hall fighter of the year last year. We did. He won 3. He won his Southern area. Small hall. He bossed it last year. Can't argue with it. Do you think he should now wave goodbye to fighting? He doesn't have the legs for it, at least last night, in my opinion. Always had the heart, but seems that that's all gone.
It's not any of that. He's just always struggled when he stepped up above that level.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
He can continue fighting at Southern area level.
Does he want him?
He's a good
fucking king of the Southern area title. He's won that 7 times.
Yeah. 11 defences, some madness.
If he wants to, so what?
He could be that guy. If you beat
Waddy,
you can move on.
If you lose to Waddy, you know your level. Yeah. If you beat Waddy, okay, cool, progress.
100%.
If Waddy wants to play that role, why not?
If he wants to play that role,
we had this before where we was watching this fight, he threw 1,000,000 punches in a fight, or what is it, fucking 1,200 punches, but he couldn't hit.
John O'Carroll.
Yeah, but so what? So what? If he enjoys fighting, he may not. His ambition might not be to be a fucking unified multiple world champion. He might just 100%. Like fighting.
Yeah.
100%. Regardless of what.
Jamani Camaro. The motherfucker just gets in the ring and just turns up.
So Gabriel Rosado, he's had about 12, 13 losses.
Yeah.
Just likes fighting.
Yeah.
Probably knows his number.
Personally, I'd love to see Waddy carry on.
One day the right fight might come and he might win the title and then lose it, but at least he's won it.
Yeah. I think that's the thing about boxing as well. That there's so much pressure on fighters. The minute you lose in the fight, they just say retire. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? Why am I retiring? If a football team go and lose, you're gonna tell them to pack it in.
Yeah.
Oh, don't play again. You're the worst. One player had a bad game. Pogba had a listen. Don't play the game again. Yeah. You just had a net.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
It's mad.
And it's boxing. Do you know what? I bring it back to UFC. So last night there was these 2 girls fighting in the UFC, both prospects, both of them like 22 years old, 20 and 22. The 20-year-old one, guess what happens to the 22-year-old? She starts again. Like there's no shame. She got beat. She'll come again.
Yeah, that's
like,
the thing.
They might fight again in 3 or 4 years' time. Like it's this bizarre thing that boxing has. That this is why they protect the O so much and they put them in with shit.
It was undefeated thing.
It means a lot to be undefeated.
Listen, you put on a good fight, you can go again. Golovkin and Canelo. Put on a good fight. They're talking about a third one. People might say they don't want to see it and that, but if they both have good wins for a couple more fights and have it again,
then it's
you
make it again.
You make it again. But everyone's scared of this. Nah, you know what? It's a risky fight, no reward. How about you take the risk? And the reward down the line, if you win, would be bigger. You take these fights, you're both undefeated fighters. You lose it, you win it. Sorry, you might not get all the money you deserve now, but as you go on, you look at your resume and you're like, listen, I beat this much fighters here. Yeah. So when I'm going into a fight, I'm the A side. I'm pulling the strings. Listen, I've done this, this, and that. You're not about to offer me this. I want this. But people just want to fight journeyman until they get mandated to fight something, and then start feeling like they own the place. Like, listen, I want this because I'm mandatory for this. Like, no, you fought
because I beat 19 journeymen.
Yeah, you beat no one. Like, listen, I'm not saying I fought anyone. I fought journeyman as well, but I'm not trying to live off that and make it like trying to milk it.
There is a difference between beating journeyman and knocking them all out.
Exactly.
No, but he could easily get big for his boots, couldn't he?
Yeah,
Look at me, I've knocked them all out.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Like, even sometimes, I'll be honest with journeyman, I feel like, you know what, let's have a bit of a fight just to make it a bit interesting.
Yeah, hit me.
Like,
hit me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can all box. Like, we can all box journeyman out here to do. You can just stand there, use your jab, step back, walk around a bit, save a bit of energy, use your jab, he's going rounds. Cool, I ain't been rounds, but I'm not going to force the rounds. Yeah. I'm not just going to drag someone on just to get so I can say, yeah, I've done rounds. If you can't hold up, you can't hold up. Listen, if I get to one level and knock someone out in a round, I'm taking it. Yeah. So all of this rounds talk.
Bruv, my mum paid 50 quid. Like, at least 2 more rounds.
So it's like everyone's worried about. Everyone tells me you ain't done rounds, and I agree with that. Cool, I haven't done rounds. Well, when we're trying to get fighters that can take me rounds, people don't want to take fights. Maybe they can't hold up, or this, that. Oh, this guy's good. He's a tough journeyman. He's solid. He comes for it. Cool. He don't hold up. Okay, what now? Can I get a fight? Can I get a title?
Give him the rounds now.
Warburton, he's done middleweight.
I wouldn't put him up with middleweight that's punching that hard though. He's going to middleweight to fight.
Yeah, but William Warburton would do it.
Do you think that's the guy to take him the rounds now?
Well, Gomez has took him 6 rounds. So again, it depends also what. Like, I've seen Gomez get knocked out. I'm sure I've seen him get stopped.
He's been stopped.
He's been stopped, isn't it?
3 times.
Yeah, he's been stopped.
But in the ones that I saw,
the ref's gone, he's had enough,
he didn't even get put over.
Yeah.
He just said he's had enough.
So it can be done. Like, and I honestly believe all journeymen can be stopped if you play it right. So it comes down to, does he need rounds? What is it a myth? Is it a myth? Or he needs to get the rounds. I'd rather see him get chinned, like a proper fucking hard shot, and then shake it off and go, fucking hell, now I'm going to stop you.
Yeah,
like 6 rounds.
I'm good.
Stop shouting about that.
Rather than see you go, let's say Warburton, so you go 6 round Warburton, oh yeah, he's done 6 rounds. I'd rather see 1 minute into the fight, a geezer clean, straight on his chin, and him go, that hurt, shake that bitch off and let's go. And then stop him. To me, I don't know, you might not have learned more. I don't know how you fucking measure what's been learned. But it's another test you passed. In my eyes, look, I've seen him bang and he's fucking walked through it.
It's a test to answer in your mind that he will already know the answer to.
But I'm the fan watching it. If you want me to get invested, and this is what I keep saying about Andy Yard, I don't know if he can stand up because I've never seen him punched. But I want to see him. I said it about Joshua, and he got back up when Klitschko did it. I don't want to see him lose, I just want to see him get hit. I want to see him get hurt and see it, or a big shot, and how they deal with it, because some guys can fucking go into their shell of themselves. 100%. You see it a lot. And then some guys get up and they puff their chest down and they go, well done, you got me. Let's go. And that's my head, personally. It's probably completely different to everyone else. I like to measure what a guy looks like when I can see he's hurt.
Yeah,
how smart he is, intelligent to roll out, or if he sits there fucking cowering, or if he just swings and then gets, you know what I mean? That's my personal thing. I like to see it. So some guys might go, let's get him in a 10 rounder against someone who can go the rounds. I don't know. Maybe he's probably had harder sparring. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm getting around in the sparring. I think you'll be alright.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like all of this under the lights and stuff. Like, I get it, the pressure's on and stuff, but if you're not a guy that really folds under pressure, then you're alright, innit? And you're in the gym, you're doing rounds. Like, everyone I've sparred has been better than everyone I've boxed.
You don't really know
so
when the bell goes.
These guys, when the
bell goes, it all goes out the window, really.
Literally.
Like, especially after like a minute or so, you're like, At the end of the day, it could be in the gym, it could be in the fucking field, you could be anywhere. At the end of the day, you're just getting it and punching someone else back.
Yeah, literally, everyone talks about game plans and stuff.
You know when you're
No,
not Casey
real
Blair
shit,
out?
like, it goes up.
You know when you're not Casey Blair out? Was it the first knockdown? Or was it the second?
First knockdown.
First knockdown. I was gonna say, like, you never knocked a guy out and gone, oh, I better ease up now. I don't want to finish him. Like, who does that? Oh, I need to get the rounds in. No, why? Bro? Go for the kills.
No,
I
did that with Dwayne Grant. I thought, do you know what?
Oh, is that why you lost?
Yeah. Dropped him straight away, and I was
you
like,
dropped him too early.
Bro, I paid you $2,000. Get up.
That was,
I want the rounds.
that was your fault. You hurt him. You hurt him early, and then you made him mad.
I made him mad.
And he punched your
And
head.
I kept running into him.
Fuck it. I want to watch that fight back again. Actually, that's a good fight to watch, man. Your head just
Not for
fucking
me.
ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam.
It was round 5, mate. He weighed me in good.
Yeah, and you didn't go down.
No.
That's good. Main event of this card was Charlie Edwards beat up a little Spanish bloke for 12 rounds.
And mates, they've done sparring sessions and all sorts together, haven't they?
Yeah, he was a voluntary. He was ranked 14th in the world by the WBC. It went one way for the entire fight. It was pretty dull, in my opinion. People go, "Oh, Charlie's great."
I don't
enjoy it.
I don't get it. Like, he's a lovely lad. He's a fucking good boxer. Doing all the right things. Do you know what I mean? I don't get Harry's so popular. I don't get it. He's so light. He weighs about 50 kilos. Nothing to do with his personality or his boxing.
Soak him wet as
He's
well.
got it all. It's like these fighters at that weight don't really get that attention. Last night he come out like he fucking landed on the moon. They're doing the national anthem. He stood there with his eyes closed, his arms out, like fucking singing the national anthem. He made the biggest entrance that you've ever seen in your life. But I personally don't connect with the whole thing. I don't.
It's his story, and Eddie can talk, man.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Hearn can talk. Like he can.
And you think Charlie's like believed his own height?
He can make you look by
He's
your
a
own podcast.
He's a lovely guy though. He's a lovely guy. Like he's like a,
Make me buy my own
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, he sent it to me. Do you know how he talks?
Do you know he stopped following me because I quoted him off on this podcast once? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped following me. He got angry because I said he was treating Isaac like shit. He just unfollowed me. He was like,
I think he is though.
yeah, Isaac's leaving in a minute.
How was Isaac
But where'd I put
not
my
one
gym?
of your main?
Is yours
Yeah,
done?
mine's done, yeah.
Alright, cool.
How was Isaac not one of your main, like, assets? Like, how was he not one of your main fighters? Like, the guy is talented. Like, all over. Like, he's.
What, he lost to Lawrence, that's it?
He lost to Lawrence in a dead fight.
Dead.
In a dead fight. You can't even look like, oh, it's not gonna. It was a shit fight.
Yeah.
Like, it was. Pardon me. One of the worst fights you could have headlined.
Yeah.
Like, the O2 was.
I wonder if
sold out.
that's why. I wonder if he held it against him because it went so shit. But Lawrence won, so he kind of had to stick with him.
Yeah, but then look at the fight after.
Yeah.
He battered Watkins. I don't even know how the scorecards were so close to me. Basically, they're basically saying that without that knockdown, he would have lost.
Yeah.
He battered Watkins.
Yeah.
And then what, you're going to like just hold him out? To be honest, I think he's treating like shit. But obviously, yeah, I don't know. They have their reasons. I don't know. Maybe they've offered him fights and he's been saying no. Who knows? Who knows what's going on behind closed doors, isn't it?
Who knows? Who knows?
But it is what it is. But that Charlie Edwards, I think it's more of his story. Obviously, he
His
went
mum's
for a world
unwell.
title first,
Oh,
lost,
yeah.
came back. His mum's unwell, done it for his mum. It's like a people feel like emotionally attached. Like, oh,
I like the
feel it.
story. I like him. He's a nice kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
I also like his brother. A lot of people don't like Sonny. They say he's an annoying little fucker. I quite like Sonny.
Him getting that Paddy Barnes, that was.
I know. I liked it,
Yeah,
man.
I
like
I quite like Sonny. I think
Paddy
he's
Barnes lost again, didn't he?
yeah. And after the day before, he was saying that I'd never fight him. He's irrelevant. Like
Oh, he said he hopes no one fights
I
him.
hope no
and
one
just
ever
shuts
fights
out.
him. And then he got beat by a even record over in America. Listen, Sonny might be an annoying little fucker, but for me, he's the right little bit amount of annoying. Do you know what I mean?
Funny.
Yeah, I quite enjoy it. But listen, I don't dislike them. I just don't get. I'm not invested.
Yeah.
I'm not invested in it. That's why I'm not invested in it. So I'm sitting there watching a fight, and he's just punching his head off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not right.
Yeah.
I'm watching this. I've got to talk
It's
about it
not
tomorrow.
grabbing,
yeah.
Honestly, I'm sitting there watching, thinking, I'm watching this. I've got to talk about it tomorrow. And if not,
Yeah, I'm not really that much invested in these fights either. Like, I think the fight we won the world title.
This is the thing with boxing, though. This is the whole thing with boxing, right? You might not be any good, right?
Yeah.
You're knocking everyone out in round 1 and 2. No one really knows.
Yeah.
You can be fucking as good as you want. If you're not knocking people out, people will get bored.
Yeah.
Johnny Cole's been given a tough journey because he hasn't stopped people. I think that's why I'm getting an opportunity. He's beating people because he's out boxing them.
Yeah.
But truth be told, how many times are you going to come watch someone just box someone's head off for 10, 12 rounds every time?
What you'll never do is connect with the casual fans. And I know we say it, but they're the ones buying the shit. If they're not going to connect with you, if you're just a nice, clean, tidy boxer.
That's where the money is with the casual fans.
Yeah,
When
you cross over to the casual fans, you're
that's where
good.
the money is. Yeah.
And knocking people out
I think
helps.
that's why Johnny Cole hasn't been given opportunity because
He can fight.
He
though,
can
Johnny
fight.
Cole.
He can fight.
He
He's
can
got
fight.
everything he needs. He just
can
can't punch like a knockout
Yeah.
puncher. So
Yeah.
because he's not doing that, it's a hard sale. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard sale.
So.
Right? Do you want to fight Johnny Cole? He's probably going to beat you, but you're not going to get paid much because he doesn't bring a lot of tickets because he can't. He doesn't bring a crowd. So fight someone who you're probably going to lose to. They're not going to knock you out. They're going to beat you up 12 rounds. You're not going to get paid well because he doesn't sell tickets.
No thanks. Who's next on the
I'd
list?
rather actually fight someone that might knock me out and I will get paid money. Rather than fight someone that's going to beat me up for 12 rounds and I'm not going to get paid very well. And that's it's all part. The thing is, it's so hard to get it right in boxing.
So hard to get it right.
Don't worry about being a puncher. Just be a good boxer. Yeah, but all right, don't be a good boxer or be a street fighter. Fucking maul his face off and hit hard. People will pay to see that shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Did you ever watch me fight? Terrible, mate. Steaming at people and throw everything at them until
you know what's so funny? I actually did, because when I turned pro, I looked at every middleweight. I said, every one of them. And when he started following me, I'm like, "Bro, what's going on here?" And he called me, "Yeah, I'm retired." I'm like, "Oh, cool, yeah, we can be friends.
We can be friends now.
That's why I'm friends with everyone, bro. I'm no threat.
That's the only reason I sold tickets. I wasn't no good. Just steam in, throw fucking...
Make it exciting fights.
Fucking uppercuts, downer cups, hooker cups, fucking elbows, heads, shoulders, mate. If I could hit him with it, landing. Amateurs, pro, everything like that. And I think that...
It's a fan-friendly style, isn't it?
That's what a lot of fighters now don't understand. Yes, you're a fantastic boxer, but unfortunately, in a pro game, that ain't enough. Unless, obviously, you get signed to Eddie, just do what you got to do to just get your wins. But if you've got to come from the bottom, from the small hall shows, you have to entertain, you have to offer something.
100%, 100%. And I feel like that's what's got me where I am now, because if I was just winning these fights...
You'd just be another contender.
Just be another contender. Like, what separates you? Like, what makes you different? Like, what makes you... Start, you don't stand out.
100%. Before we go on to... There's quite a lot of questions, so we'll finish up on them and finish up with Denzel, but a couple of things we should touch on. Why the fuck did we start with the Albanian national anthem?
That was your idea.
It was my idea.
You're wearing matching shoes to the flag and everything.
I'm Albanian through and through, my guy. Who's an Albanian footballer? I can't think of one. Shefki Kucci, but he played for Finland.
I couldn't name you an England player.
That's very true. The reason we did the Albanian national anthem, Steve Goodwin had a show last night. It was a Goodwin boxing show, not his show, where the arena, which was York Hall, was bought by one man, an Albanian, the Albanian David Beckham, I think they called him, and they had boys fight on the undercard who didn't have to sell a ticket. This must have been like a fucking dream for them, innit? Ramez Mahmood, who got another win, good friend of ours, Ramez, and Brad Pauls. John Pilata, I think, was on it as well, a few others, but yeah, they were the boys that picked up wins on this Albanian guy's show. But fuck me, the video that came out of York Hall with the Albanians, unbelievable, man. The Albanian community must really believe in this guy. What's his name? Maku?
I don't know. I watched his interview after, which Eric Guy did.
For what platform?
I watched his 7-minute interview, and I know that he's Albanian.
But you can't remember his name?
I don't remember. I don't think I asked his name. I don't know what weight division he is. I don't know absolutely anything about him from that 7 minutes.
Who did Eric Guy?
I wasted 7 minutes of
my
life.
Who did he interview for though? What platform?
No, I don't know.
On his own Facebook Live or something?
He was just like doing his thing and
crazy. But anyway,
so you're Albanian? Yes, Albanian.
And he was like, is that your impression?
I like. He is a good boy. Like Golovkin.
How many boys would jump at the chance to fight on a fucking card when they got to sell tickets? Just
mate, my hands were getting better.
I love that myself.
Unreal, man.
I'm boxing a few dinner shows. I don't have to sell tickets, so it's nice.
Do you sell much tickets?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do alright. Yeah, I do alright.
Don't tell everyone. You do what you do.
He does tickets, don't worry.
I do tickets. You hear the crowd in the videos. It's cool.
Terry Chappell's there anyway. And that Terry Chap. Phone me, Tell. We got to talk about that thing, man. With that live show, innit? With the trying to float ideas. Terry's idea. He wants to do a fight talk and a New Age live, like a live show where we all come together and just
sick collaboration kind of thing.
Yeah, a little collaboration because we don't really get.
What usually happens, we do one podcast, they do a podcast, we say nice things about them, Terry slags us off.
That's how it works. But we need to find a time where we're held to account for the things we say. Like when we quote people off, all they can do is tweet me. But if I sit there, you can tell me to my face why I'm a cunt. So I think we need to be accountable once in a while. It's a completely different
platform here. Someone can just ring you up, message you and be like, why are you slagging me off?
Yeah.
If we let's do it live. We can turn up and we can say, Denzel's fucking, he's only done 2 rounds, I don't know if he's really got it. And you can stand there and go, well, why haven't I got it? And you can fight back if you like.
Spider Richards came to their first live show and absolutely ripped fucking Martin and Terry. Yeah, it came.
But don't get like aggressive.
No,
it's just gives the fighters the chance to say.
To be like, well, why do you think that?
Yeah, and then the fans.
It's not always negative. It's not always negative.
The thing is, it's good.
And it builds a community.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with boxing is that there's like two views of it, yeah? Someone slags you off, yeah? You'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm taking it personal because it's you, innit? And then someone slags you off, it's like, well, they're not slagging off as a person, they're slagging off as the athlete,
You're a
the
boxer,
fighter,
yeah.
you feel me? So it's like, you go and slag off Chelsea or Man United and you'd be like, oh, what, they're a shit team, look at the performance and that. Like, you really think they're going to come out and take it personal? Like, what do you mean? What did you say about my team? Kind of thing. Because boxing, it's you, the individual, like, it's personal.
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault. There's no one to blame. You can't blame the manager, the keeper. It's all you. I think that's what people take it a bit more personal. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a sport and you're competing. And people are always going to have thoughts and whatever. They're going to judge you by your performances. So that's just what it is, isn't it? So you have a bad fight and someone says you box shit.
The thing is, my argument is you can't ask me to judge you when you're doing well and not expect me to judge you when you're not doing well.
Of course, no. 100%.
You want me to be there and praise you and go, oh, you knocked him out, well done. Here's the money for my ticket, thank you, well done. But when I think you've been shit, I'm not allowed to tell you you've been shit.
Yeah, no.
Like that was what I said about value. It's not right because it's the entertainment business.
Yeah.
You make money by us randoms buying into you.
Yeah, of course.
Not just your friends and family, but Dave round the corner. When he buys a ticket from you, then you're starting to make money.
Yeah, literally.
But the man's allowed an opinion when he's giving you his money. It's this bizarre thing in boxing,
it's
isn't
true, and sometimes I see things like...
You're not gonna, if he comes to buy a ticket, right, I want to buy 10 tickets off you. Before I buy the tickets off you, I don't really think your left hook's that good. Oh no, I don't want your money actually. No, I don't want. No, you ain't buying 10 tickets off me, bro.
Yeah, no,
you ain't gonna do that. But like, mate,
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. No, I'm working on it.
My left hook's so shit. You're so
right.
right.
You know, so mad because when I was younger, I had a surgery on my left arm. But don't worry about it. I'm working.
Excuses. It's coming. It's coming.
No, but yeah, no, it's true though. They're allowed an opinion. Like sometimes I see things like obviously like I'm in front of they post things and that. I look at the comments and I just laugh like, oh shit, he's on me. I don't take it personal. I don't start replying like, yeah, is that what you think of me?
You should retweet people's bad comments about you.
Yeah.
I see something on LinkedIn the other day in this coffee shop. Some geezer put a review on TripAdvisor. The worst coffee I've ever had in my life. So then they took the clip that he put on their LinkedIn or the TripAdvisor, screenshotted it, print off, and it was their advertising board outside their shop.
The
worst coffee some random guy on the internet has ever had. Even though people were like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to go try it. There's money of it.
No, yeah, I'm going to
retweet people's...
I don't really get
people find you funny, they'll be like,
yeah,
oh, he's a funny cunt, he's retweeting.
That's what you should do, just with laughing faces like...
I'm going to make up accounts and slag you off now. But don't think he finds that it's me, I'm not.
Alright, let's smash out some of these questions, man. There's a few of them and we need to get done. We've been going for a little while. Alright, Rob Cass. Good man, Rob Cass. There are obviously a lot of people disappointed with Tyson Fury's chosen opponent for his next fight. If you could have picked his next opponent, who would it have been and why? Obviously not including AJ and Wilder. If you were Tyson Fury... Oh, no. Not even if you were Tyson Fury. Who would you have picked? If they said, Richie, you tell me who Fury's fighting.
One of the Americans, Molina, someone.
A Molina.
Anyone?
This guy's undefeated though. I don't want everyone slagging him off. Well, then again, I ain't looked at his record. I haven't seen who he's fought.
So he's beat nobody. The guy that is boxing Chisora, Gashi, battered him and got disqualified.
Oh,
he randomly started throwing headbutts like halfway through the fight. Madness. But this guy's young, German. I think he's Sauerland. I might be wrong. He's in that sort of maybe K2, something like that.
Just one of these Americans.
It's really
one of the ones that
really underwhelming, man.
Feed him at Ariolo or something.
Just feed him someone. I don't have to see him fight Wilder straight away. I don't have to see him.
But see, I'm disappointed in that. That broke my heart.
I think that's the trick though. Trying to get him to fight an undefeated.
I want to see him fight. I want to see him fight one of the Americans that have had a hanging around the stadiums. That's never boxed in England.
A big baby Miller
that
style.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Just because he's been hanging about. Why don't they steal one of Joshua's old built-up opponents?
Well, Brazil is now boxing Wilder.
What's matey doing? Who boxed his brother, wasn't it? His cousin.
Who you talking about? Whose cousin? His brother?
Parker.
Oh, Joseph Parker.
What's Parker doing?
Whose cousin did he box?
He boxed the other Fury, didn't he?
Huey. He boxed Huey Fury. Yeah, he could have boxed.
Why not?
Because they're mates and they did the haka together after the fight. They can't do that. No, I would have liked.
Next time he gets paid as well, so they're probably going to build him now as well.
Do you know? I'm so underwhelmed. You're going to Vegas against a guy that we don't know in this country. You're not even fighting a name. Apparently, it's a $100 million deal he's got.
You'd moan more if he brought one on loan to here. So stop moaning. People are going to get paid. People are going to go buy it. It ain't going to cost you no money. And he's going to make money. Why are you moaning?
I'll tell you why I'm moaning. Because him and Wilder fight was that good it deserved an immediate rematch. That's why.
It did deserve
It had everything. And then what happened? politics of boxing found this little fucking way in, didn't it? And now the fight ain't happening. Well done.
But when you offer
Well
someone
done.
that much money, he was never going to make half of that fighting Wilder in the rematch.
I get that. Money's now, I guess, his objective. He's not an exciting... For as much as we love Fury, he's not an exciting style boxer.
No,
So
he's exciting personality.
his persona, his personality,
but
the actual
that's
boxer.
why we love Fury, not for his actual boxing.
Yeah, and people forget that.
We all know
So
he can box.
people
but
forget that. So when he's fighting and he's
we knew
just
he could box
talking to a
before
random...
Klitschko.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I actually put money in him to beat Klitschko. We all know he could box.
Yeah.
I was a safe bet though. I put a little change.
I believe in you about £10 off.
But like we all knew he could box. But as he started getting out there more with his personality, you're like, this guy's funny. Like he's just, I just want to hear what he has to say.
Makes you connect a bit more.
Yeah, he makes you connect a bit more. Yeah, he's just more down to earth. He's not always trying to be like politically correct and right and. Just
When he speaks to himself though, he gets himself banned and. People forget that he's had to rein it in a little bit because not everyone was a fan of the shit he was saying.
Yeah, of course. That's why he never got that.
It's now getting that It's getting that happy medium now of being the likable guy, but you need to be likable for saying.
I watched a great video of him once, right? And he was signing gloves, and all these fighters were signing gloves to John from fucking whoever. He's like, right, I'm gonna sign these gloves. I ain't gonna write your name in it. Sell it so you can make some money. Quick, take a photo. That's for you, love. Quick, take a photo. That's for you, love. Go sell and make some money.
You can't make that up. Like, that's him. Like, you know what I'm saying.
Signing gloves, pose for a photo, give it to them so they can make money off of it. Brilliant.
Yeah. A few more questions. Let's rattle through very quickly because we're coming to the end. And we touched on this one. To be fair, does Boatsy beat Yard if they fought next? If they fought next, one word. This was from Niall Collins. Did we say in one word? You said Boatsy beats Yard today. Denzel, you didn't put your neck on the line.
No, I'm sitting on the fence, man.
No, we don't do that.
You know, right now, I don't think he
Today, if they fight on Saturday, do you think Yard beats him?
It'd be a very, 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 very good fight.
I think they draw.
But I think
Such a gay boy.
I think Boatsy would win.
I think the fans win.
Yeah, the fans win. I love that. How long you been with Frank Warren? The fans win. You know, there's only one winner. The fans. Yeah, love that.
That's it.
Well done, company man through and through. I respect.
So Sam said we're bringing back the body shot this week.
No, we did not. No.
As we've got someone 90% knockout. I'm saying we bring it back this week.
There's no gloves here, unfortunately.
You
I'm
don't
not
need
letting.
gloves for this. I'm okay. I'm okay
Bare
watching
knuckle.
hit you without gloves.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Right, one more
Hold
question
on,
before.
glove here. Take this one out. Take your David Haysline glove out.
No, there's one more question we're going to touch on before we go to the last two on Denzel. Is the low This is from Riku, by the way, lead right man like Riku. Is the low standard of televised boxing having a knock-on effect on the quality of small hall cards? Are we seeing?
Why?
Well, if you think about it, I guess his point is you're having to feed these small hall the shows on television, right? So Eddie Hearn's bringing all his names to America, so his non-names are now having to be on his shows over here. Does that mean the small hall shows are suffering? And I can think of one example off the top of my head, right? It's not necessarily Hearn, but it's an example. Philip Bowes rips up the small hall, mate. Won the Commonwealth there on the Elliott show. Now he's going to be on the Matchroom show in Liverpool, which means a Elliott show will miss a Philip Bowes. Do you understand? And I guess that's what he's alluding to, that because you're throwing all your names over to America, you're pulling up people from the small hall up to your shows on the telly.
Small hall people's opportunity.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and obviously everyone's got to work, so they're just counting on this guy and not moving him forward because you want to make a show. But find the next Philip Bowes.
They can't that's exactly. You can't base every show around him because one day he might be injured anyway.
Yeah,
Anything can happen.
Mickey Elliott has been working on that for years, mate. Elliot Matthews was the guy. Then Aaron Morgan.
Mickey Elliott can make you at fucking 35-0.
He can. Mickey Elliott will get you the best record in the world.
He's the guy that if you can sell a ticket, you go undefeated.
Yeah,
I've seen some people some records and I think how, and then I look at box record and I
Mickey
think,
Elliott manager. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Sparring and thinking, he feels like a Mickey Elliott fighter.
Oh dear. By the way, shout out fucking Phil Bowes, man. I hope he gets the victory on telly. He's a good man.
I think he can beat.
And I think it's Tom Farrell. I think he should win. If he boxes as well as he can do, he wins the fight hands down. And he's underappreciated in this country, you know, Phil Bowes. He does box. He does it the right way.
I think that's because like from before this fight, every time he stepped up for a title fight, he lost in it. So it's like, what do you take?
That Glenn Foote fight was close, man. Like he was adamant. He didn't feel he lost that, and I don't know if it affected him or what. But
that probably played a part. That probably affected him as well. But
yeah.
Now he's got that title, and now it's just time to get his name out there and do what he does. If he beats that Farrell on that show, it's only upwards for him, so that's good for him.
Yep, 100%.
Even though I don't agree with that opponent he fought last, but he's done his thing, innit? He's done his thing, and you got to respect that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. Like, If he makes a good name, if he wins convincingly on Saturday in Liverpool, he could be someone that people might pay a bit more attention to.
Everything else goes away. Everything else goes away because that Tom Farrell's not a bad fight. He's only lost once, innit? Al Davis. Yeah, that's it. So that's and he's probably selling so many tickets.
Yeah. So
everyone gets to see Philip Bowles in action. So if he wins that, probably hating Liverpool after that. But
that's what everyone's hating in Liverpool if you're not a Scout, so don't worry about it. Andrew Stelby, thoughts on him last night? He got beat in a 5th round by a Mexican over there. The only thing I'll say on him is it's a shame he didn't have backing from a TV promoter in his country early because the guy's gifted and he's having to box off TV, off network. No one really knows about him in this country and it's a fucking shame. But they're little weights, so Richie don't care.
What weight is he?
He would have been mandatory to fight Charlie Edwards.
Oh, if you won that fight?
Yeah.
So what's that, like flyweight, super flyweight?
Fly, super fly, yeah.
50 kilos. Same weight as my dog. And my dog can wear gloves.
I don't even know how you weigh that.
Oh, yeah, my dog a license.
But see, even with saying I know he was a decorated amateur, innit?
Yeah, I believe so.
So whose idea was him for him to sign with who he signed with?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You can't
didn't he go with Cyclone at the beginning? I can't even remember.
If you're Eddie Hearn, look at this flyweight. He's won 14 national titles because there's only 9 people in the country that weigh that much. So he's got all these amateur titles. We spoke about this last week. The talent pool is like this. If you're too light, there's not a lot. The closer to the middle you get, the more opponents. The heavier you get, again, there's less opponents. Unfortunately, people may not agree with me. The lighter you are, the more titles you win, kind of becomes more irrelevant because the talent pool is smaller. You turn pro as a flyweight, there's not a massive market for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the talent pool is smaller. Same with women. It's because the talent pool is smaller. Yeah. If there was 1 million people in this country that weighed that, then the competition would be sky high because there's so many people trying to achieve that. It'd be different. Yeah,
but then again, as his career went on, he's seen the market kind of raising for these small weights.
The market has rose.
Someone could have took a chance on him.
I could sell you easier than I could sell a flyweight.
100%.
Yeah. Because 100%. This geezer's middleweight. He's knocking people out. You know, he's 20-0. He's been 12 rounds, 18 times. Trust me, he throws 500 punches around. Yeah, but 500 punches around. I'm not anyone out. Yeah. I'm sorry, but listen. So Steve, who lives up the road, he just wants to see people on their arse. They can be as talented as they like. They're not putting people over. Casuals are going to get bored.
Agreed. I can't find the question, but someone asked, who's your favourite fighter of all time and your favourite current fighter to watch?
Favourite fighter of all time? I ain't got one. I've got like a top 5.
Okay.
But my favourite current fighter to watch right now is Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
That's my guy. But I think Ever Spencer's cold as well.
Yeah.
From his last performance, I like that. But Terence Crawford's my guy right now. But my top 5, I think I tweeted it the other day. Mayweather, Andre Ward, Terence Crawford, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Pernell Whitaker.
Sweet Pea.
How many white fighters in there, bro?
Someone tweeted me as well. That was so funny.
Fucking racist.
Hey, what, no, I like Lomachenko, but I actually like Lomachenko.
He's too white.
No. He's like, as the list goes on, you put Lomachenko, but it's just one of them things where it's like
he's not one punch knocking anyone out.
I like that. No, not even that. My favourite fighters are based around fighters close to my weight, people I can take things off. I can't do what Lomachenko does. I've tried it in sparring, it works for guys that can't box, but when someone's in there and I'm trying to move and
step back,
I can't do Lomachenko. Well, he's sick, but
until you take 4 years out of boxing and learn to dance, you'll never know. That's what his dad did. You ain't boxing for 4 years. What? Then you're just gonna dance.
Yeah, just dance.
And mental.
Yeah, so it's mad, but yeah, Lomachenko is definitely in there, but I just like to base it on around fighters that around my weight that I can
that makes sense.
Exactly,
No, that Klitschko style wouldn't work for a middleweight, would it?
No,
jab
and hold can't do that.
Too much movement, too much energy in the ring, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. So
we're gonna put these last 2 questions together. Ramez Mahmood and Paul Altai. Thank you, boys. Ramez said about, weren't you mandated to fight for the southern area? Are you looking beyond that now? And Paul's question was about, what level do you think best suits you and a potential matchup with Linus? So yeah, just finishing up, talk about what happened with that title, where you're looking now, and potential fight with Linus Shadofia.
I was mandated for the southern area, but couldn't get anyone to fight for it. So we're moving forward from there. Don't want to hang about and try and wait till someone else pops up. So we're moving on from there. And Linus Shadofia, what level that will be put to fight at.
Yeah, what level would you fight him? Like, you know, if
Are you going to fight him just for a 50-50? Would you fight him for the Southern area? The English,
he's
British?
going to be managed for English, do you think you can fight him for the British maybe? And what do you think of a potential fight? You'd be doing
For anything.
Yeah.
Like, obviously for a title, I'm not onto him. Like I've got nothing against the guy. I'm not going to just be like, I just want to fight you because you're you. But Southern area title's there, and I asked for it. So I fight him at Southern area level, I fight him at English level, and I fight him at British level. And if we both get to world level someday, I'll fight him then too. But it's one of the ones where it's not a thing where I want to drag out. It's not something I'm looking to.
So like you ain't got no beef with him to.
You don't make a point of it, so then everyone starts going on about it, and then you're like, bro, this ain't no deal to us.
Then it gets twisted as if I'm calling him out, and that. It's just people asking you constantly.
Yeah, I'm not calling him out.
You understand that people want to see that though, right?
100%.
You understand that.
So as soon as I found that tape all that, and I was like, I'll jump in. I saw the reaction, and I thought, wow, people actually want to see this. Yeah. So for some sort of title, I'd 100% fight. Even if it's not for a title, and we end up fighting one day, I'll take the fight if it comes across. But I'm not just onto him because he's him. For me, it was just a thing where the title was on the line, and I thought, wow.
And people keep asking the question.
Where do you see yourself amongst the British guys at the moment? Even at the Southern area level, you know, you've got Brad Pauls, you've got Linus, you've got Tay, you've got all these guys. Where do you see yourself amongst all these though?
I think I'm better than all of them.
Straight answer. That's such a good answer.
Why
Didn't fuck about it. He was like, I think I'm better than all of them.
Why bullshit?
Yeah, I'm not gonna like. Some people want to like be around. If they don't think they're better than everyone else, then they're bugging.
Why are they doing it? What are they doing here?
What are you doing it for? Like,
and I no doubt they all believe the same.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it.
How far do you think you'll go? British, European? At this point, because the way it works, I've always thought is you'll think, I think I can get the Southern area. You get then you think, do you know what? I actually think this, and you always think, how far do you think now you could?
As of today,
go?
yeah. Where do you believe today?
Where do you think?
I think British level is realistic. I think I'm not a donut. The world scene right now is filled with talent. Without that experience, I'm not gonna act like I could be world champion today. Within the next year or two, I reckon British level is realistic. Like I can dominate British level, 100%, and then move on from there as I've learned more and as I've got more experience. I ain't been boxing all my life, so that's more realistic to me. But even that, sometimes you look at fighters and you think, how good are these guys on this level? Like how good are world class fighters? How good are British?
What's the highest level fighter you've sparred with then? I know it's opinion because you could say this guy's better than that guy, but have you sparred British champion yet? Even a different weight.
I sparred British champion. I sparred. He's a welterweight, but I sparred David Avinessin.
Okay.
And he was a world champion.
Yeah, he beat Mosley.
How was it?
How
was it?
He was
obviously you're bigger, but how was it?
I'll tell you what, it's so funny. One of the times we fight Mosley, I was just turning pro and that stuff. I was kind of young, I'm like 22 or something. He, like, physically, he was bullying me. Like, because I'm a boxer, and whatever. So I'm just boxing, and physically, he was shifting me. And I'm thinking, fuck, this guy's a welterweight. How's he shifting me like this? He's come back again another time, and obviously, it's a different story now. I've grown a lot more. I'm a solid, I'm solid in my middleweight now. I'm a pro now, yeah. It wasn't the same story. I don't want to say I managed to, like,
but you felt the adjustment.
You held your position there.
Yeah, I didn't want to try to use my weight over him now because I know how to use my weight now. I'm a middleweight, so I thought, let me just box, and I managed to match the boxing or maybe get a little bit better of him. So I thought, wow, boxing wise, skill wise, ability wise, am I that level?
You felt good.
Because I felt good. Only done 6 rounds, but I felt good. Like, I felt like, okay, I can hold up at, they felt out of place, but I can hold up at this level, technically. Forget weight and that, because there's a big weight advantage. When we're both not on weight, I'm a lot heavier than middleweight, and he's probably a lot heavier than that. Well, you promise I'm not just going to start sitting there and be like, I bullied him. No. I want to know if I can match this guy for skill, because he's a
That's when you're actually going to learn from this.
Like you said, something you can actually bring with you. What good is it? Oh, I just outweighed.
Try and wrestle light heavyweight when you spar light heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly.
You spar welterweight, try and boxer welterweight.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. So that was good. I sparred Ahmed Patterson. He, to me, one of the best boxers I've been in the ring with.
Fucking hell. How'd it go?
Listen, when I first came to the gym, I thought, cool, let's see how good these pros are. I did not land a shot on him. He pinged me left, right and centre. My eye was watering because he just started jabbing me in my eye, and I thought, jeez, that hurt. I went home and thought...
He went easy on me, and I could physically feel him going easy on me.
He went easy on me because he's standing off, and he's like, boom, and then there's that, where'd that come from? It's so quick, and then you're just standing there thinking, damn, I went home, I can't lie. I thought to myself,
Is this for me?
Well, did you know him? Have you seen him? Mate, I had him on the ropes, right, and I thought, and I'm bigger than him.
Yeah.
I'm not a small middleweight. I never even made the weight. Like, I'm on these guns on the ropes, and I'm fucking weighing them in. And he's going, boom, boom, boom. And every now and then, I'd stop for a split second and boom, straight in the chin. I'd be like, he's not a big shot, because he's not a big geezer, but fuck me. And then he'd go, boom, 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 2 on 3.
What's he doing now? Ahmed Patterson,
Yeah, I think it was a bit outside of boxing and stuff.
Because he's retiring and stuff. But he's one of the best boxers. I've learned a lot from him. As we've gone on and sparred, I knew then he was taking it easy on me because now he's leveled up and it's like...
He
could have turned it on,
He could stand in front of you and hit you with 1, 2, left hook, uppercut, left hook, right hook, uppercut. The 10-shot combo, and he wouldn't get hit back.
And he wouldn't get hit back. It's so mad. Like, I tried that and I get hit with one... cool.
I landed my shots, but I got hit back.
No, trust me, he's one of the best.
I wonder how many fighters there are like that in this country where all the pros know, listen, that guy's class, but for some reason, the tickets or whatever, they just don't make the transition to top TV fighters.
Changing from amateur to pro is just mad. Like, David Price done so much in the amateurs, but just doesn't translate into the pro.
He did win British and European though. Like,
no, I know, but he went more beyond that as an amateur. So I'm saying it doesn't always transition into the exact same.
He beat Tyson Fury as an amateur.
So it's different. Denzel weren't knocking people out in the amateurs, turn pros knocking people out. Different things surface when you turn from amateur to pro. Different weaknesses, also different strengths. Both surface when you turn pro. It's just a different. It's a completely different sport. You can be a shit amateur and a good pro.
Yeah, 100%.
You can be a fucking superstar amateur, not a great pro. Look at Magogo. Was he got a silver medal in the Olympics? Didn't he? Bronze. He got bronze. Turn pro, barely made it out at European level. Didn't even get to European level.
Didn't even get there.
Like, so it doesn't translate, and you think, well, hold on, he's boxed the best amateurs in the world. All of these pros at one stage would have been the best amateurs developed, so he's going to be at the level while they're developing. You'd imagine that a world-class amateur would slowly make their way to world-class. But Fitbit doesn't work that way. You can be a shit amateur, a couple of years in the pros, world-class amateur, a couple of years in the pro. The one that was a shit amateur could end up beating the pro, beating the Olympian, because it's just so different. I don't think people really can appreciate that unless you've done both. It's very hard to fucking tell the difference.
Good place to finish that. I think Denzel Bentley, my man, you've come a long way for this. Honestly, thank you very much for coming down, Bob. I appreciate your time, and like I said, you're someone everyone's talking about. So let's put a fucking name to the myth that is this Denzel Bentley knocking fucking people out. So thank you for coming down, bro. Anything else you want to add? Anyone you want to talk?
Sponsors, socials.
Yeah, social media at 2sharp, the number 2sharp_D. Sponsors, shouts out to Downwell and Ringside right now. My sponsors now looking after me, so yeah, that's about it. Beautiful. That's my at on Twitter and Instagram, 2sharp_D.
Anyone wants to get involved with Denzel, honestly, 10-0, 9 knockouts, want to sponsor
someone. Other way around, 9-0, 8 knockouts, isn't it? 9-0.
Yeah, he's speaking to the future.
He
already knows. 9 knockouts.
9-0, 8 knockouts.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, don't worry about
Is that it? I didn't know that, bro. Shit, what have we just wasted time?
Get him off to delete the podcast.
Oh shit! Phone grab pause. He's
Wrong guy.
Oh, no quality. No, mate, that's what you do, innit? Commentary, when you do it, you all overplay them, man. You get a job for Sky tomorrow, bro.
Draw these bad boys in.
All right, Denzel Bentley, 26-0, 25 knockouts. Thank you for coming down. Listen, a pleasure having you, mate. Honestly, I look forward to seeing you back in there. And we're back next week. We're back next week. Back next week. Yeah, we're back next week. So thank you everyone for listening. Go listen to the Albanian national anthem. It's a banger. And thank you very much for listening.
Awesome.